U Sports on CBC, presented by l'U Sport à Radio-Canada, une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada. Nike, Fox 40, Theraburn Medical Supply, Les Bag Baron Rings, BioSteel, APAR, and by Steel Mazda.
Welcome to Halifax, Nova Scotia, the site of this year's U Sports University Cup on CBC Gem, brought to you by the good folks at Steel Mazda. Peter Rutgazer alongside Kevin Bixby. It's semifinal Saturday, and we have two games that will provide a lot of rattle and hum. Here's what's on tap as you take a look inside both the dressing rooms. A little later tonight, it'll be UMB and Trois-Rivières, but coming up right now, it's going to be the St. Mary's Huskies taking on the University of Windsor Lancers. And there you see the brackets, and we're getting close to that big gold medal game on Sunday afternoon. Kevin, put your coach's cap on. What do you expect from this Huskies-Lancers battle today?
I think what we're going to see today is a really exciting two-way hockey game. We've got two teams that play with high intensity. Both teams play physical hockey. And I think what you're going to see today, Peter, is the blue-collar guys are going to be in the blue paint today. And I think that's where the game will be determined.
Okay, two players you're spotlighting that you're going to focus on today. Who would they be?
Well, for St. Mary's Huskies, who we want to look at today is number 3, Jake Umberti. He's a third-year player, former OHL player. In Game 1, he scored a pivotal goal for St. Mary's on a 4-on-4, and he's the guy who played 3 games this year and looking to carry this team onto the finals. And for Windsor, we want to have a look at Aaron Shaw. Aaron Shaw, in my perspective, is a key to the offense of Windsor. They've got tremendous goaltending. He's the guy who has to lead the team today. Former OHL player, CJHL player with Cornwall, scored 31 points this year and led the Windsor Lancers offense.
So one of these teams going to the big championship on Sunday. We'll find out who it's going to be. We'll step out. We'll come back. Puck drop round the corner.
That's embarrassing. You know it's not embarrassing? Using FIG for a home improvement loan.
A quick, simple, and transparent offer in minutes. Borrow better with FIG.
There are those among us who never run away from problems. Instead, they run to them. When we never settle for the world that's been built, that's when we drive it forward towards something better. Better outcomes for clients. And better futures for our communities. At Cushman & Wakefield, we believe better never settles.
Delaney, Northwest Territories, the birthplace of hockey. Here, you'll find a community full of history and tradition. A community that Quaker surprised by transforming their arena kitchen into a Quaker breakfast bar. Stocked with our Canadian whole grain oats, it's now a place to gather, to eat, and to celebrate. We're proud to feed the passion for hockey in the place where it all started. Because we believe no matter where you're from, you've got this.
Hey, U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Welcome back, everybody. Getting ready for the first semifinal of two here today in Halifax. And this should be a real good one. St. Mary's and Windsor, a chance to go to the national final. Let's give it the two goaltenders for this afternoon's game. It's the former Leamington Flyer, Marcus Vandenberg. Faced 37 shots, made 34 saves in that game against Saskatchewan. And for Windsor, Max Donoso, the OUA goalie of the year, 4-1, 1.94 goals against average and a .920 save percentage during the OUA playoffs. The referees are Chad Ingalls, Troy Murray. The linesmen are Brennan Walker and Anthony Lapointe. And here we go, Kevin. Big game here, a chance to get to that national championship game on Sunday afternoon. I would imagine there's going to be a bit of nerves going on between both these teams.
Peter, there's going to be a bit of nerves off the opening draw, but if you looked at these guys before kicking the soccer ball before the game,
yes,
you know they're prepared, they're dialed in, and they're ready.
I almost got hit in the head. Here's Ethan Ritchie. He plays it forward. Ritchie got that overtime winner on Friday night against Saskatchewan. Puck down deep into St. Mary's territory. Grabner holds the line, but only momentarily. Down this wing is Reed Vlad. Vlad throws a hit. Named second team All-Canadian just the other day. He's in a board battle. And now this is Windsor. They fly out to neutral ice. Cross ice here now for McMullen. He takes a shot, put too much air underneath that, and it goes out of play.
You know, Peter, you talk about nerves before the game. I talked to Tyler Nogler after the game the other day. I said, Tyler, it got 3-3. You lost. You gave up the 3-0 lead. I said, what were you thinking? He said, Figs, didn't have much time to think. I was chomping so hard on my gum, I bit my jaw.
He was working that gum over pretty well on Friday. Colton Smith took a shot, went wide, tries to track it down into the corner. Here's Smith now out in front. Ty Taves was right there. Taves able to bounce it back down into the corner. Here's Taves now on the half wall. Gets the puck stripped away from him, and now Big Ben Allison over the line. He'll play it in the corner. Gentile is there, lifts his stick. Now rimmed around the boards, and it comes back, and Dillingham just could not keep that in the zone. Dillingham, he'll float the puck in. Here's Gentile. He gets to it. And now Dylan Shivas took that stick to the mouth in the first game of the tournament. Has a broken nose, wearing the full shield. Colton Orr, he had an opportunity there. This is Cote. He'll bank it off the boards. Arnsby is out there. You know when Arnsby is out there. He had a number of big hits the other night in the opener. Cato, chance in the slot, a shot, pad saved by Donoso. Another shot, and Donoso gets that trapper out, and he'll freeze it.
You know, Peter, St. Mary's gets out there, and they're putting a lot of pressure on Windsor at this point in time. But Windsor knows they've got Max Donoso in the background, the Canadian University goalie of the year, and they've got tremendous confidence in him. And what they need to do now is get their offense spark, get their offense going, and hopefully get on the board first today.
So Donoso with a couple of nice saves. That'll get him going. Off the face-off now, it comes to Grabner. Grabner over for Alex Cunningham. He had 2 goals in that victory against Saskatchewan. Puck to center ice. This is Hopkins. He'll dump the puck in. McNamara played a strong game the other night. He'll leave it there for Grabner. Up along the wing. Plate to center ice. This is Owen Jones. Jones will dump it in. Hopkins back there, and he'll play it off the glass. Kicked at, and now racing down the wing. Here comes St. Mary's. Nice move. They score! What a goal by McDonald. A thing of beauty, and it's 1-0 for the Huskies.
This play starts in the neutral zone, Peter, and McDonald comes down and he knits the defenseman. A sweater goes down, and he's got the Donoso to commit early, and he goes right up over the top and underneath the crossbar. You can see it from this angle as well. He just makes that outside-inside move, and he makes no mistake when Donoso goes down and putting it high and up over this blocker side shoulder.
So St. Mary's open up their account. Big goal by Matt McDonald, Halifax native, who played over 200 games in the Quebec Major Junior League with 4 different teams. Played to center ice, so momentum going the way of the Huskies. Dobert behind his net, and now it'll be interesting to see here, Kevin, if Windsor can stay calm, stay cool, get their game back in order.
Well, they have to stay on their game plan right now and not deviate. It's way too early in the game. And St. Mary's has scored early in this tournament. They've scored early in a lot of games all year.
Here's Shaw, try to get it out in front. Uberti, he lost his stride a little bit, couldn't go forward. Cato, he'll play it down the line. De Fonseca into the slot. Uberti, a chance, then they score! Reed Valad on his stick, off his stick, back of the net, and it's now 2-0 for the Huskies.
Well, St. Mary's really has some momentum going, and this is their big line with Uberti, Valente, and De Fonseca, and they make no mistake on that play. You'll see how the play develops just inside the blue line. Move the puck to the middle, move the puck to the outside, and Donoso had no chance on that shot. That was a perfect shot again over the blocker side shoulder.
So a quick strike for St. Mary's. They got themselves a 2-0 lead. Taves with a shot. Vandenberg, that was his biggest test so far of this game. Out to center ice, Grabner. He has to delay a little bit. Backhand shot there goes wide from Linklater. Sent down to the corner. McNamara takes a heavy hit. And there you see that heavy game from St. Mary's on display. And now McNamara has a word or two. I don't know who that is as they're going at it. Take a look at Kevin Hamlin, and you got to wonder what's going through his mind.
Well, the thing with Kevin Hamlin, he's been here as a coach before, and he's been here as a player. He was an all-Canadian standout goaltender with the University of Toronto Varsity Blues. I talked to Kev the other day, and he said, hey, we know we earned our right to come here. We're going to play patient. We're going to stay in our game plan, and the players are going to carry us as far as we can go.
I talked to him today, and he feels that his team is not getting the respect that they deserve to be here at this tournament. I think he's kind of using that to spark his team a little bit. They're full value for being here.
Peter, coaches will do that.
Yes, I hear that sometimes. Here's Miller. He goes diagonally, can't hook up on the pass. And now here's Ben Allison. 2 goals. Quick goals for St. Mary's, and there's an opportunity right there for Gentile. Cunningham, he'll race down the wing. Cunningham looking for an option, puts it right on Vandenberg, and he'll freeze it as we're approaching the 5-minute mark of this opening frame.
Well, Peter, one of the things we said to look for today is the blue-collar guys getting into the blue paint. What we got is Cunningham puts the puck on net, and then we got Jones rushing in there, going to try and make a little bit of traffic, create a little bit of havoc, and hopefully get Vandenberg off his game.
Vandenberg had some problems in the second period of that game against Saskatchewan. Got his game in order, though, in the third and in overtime. Here's Shaw in there deep. Hins, he'll swing it around. Shaw from the corner, works up to the half wall. Dillingham cancels him out, and now you've got Windsor. They have to regroup. Chivas. Too hot to handle there for McMullen. McMullen, 21 goals on the season, one of the top 4 goal scorers in the nation. Puck sent to the net. Donoso, he'll sweep it over there for Chivas. Chivas took a hit in the corner. Puck along the boards, and that was Arnsby once again. He's like a heat-seeking missile. 3-year captain with the North Bay Battalion of the OHL now will go for icing.
Well, Arnsby really sets the tone for the St. Mary's Huskies when it comes to the physical play. And the one thing we know with St. Mary's is they really like to bring that physical aspect to the game. In their first game, however, they took some penalties. It slowed them down, got them out of their game plan, and then they were able, after having a 3-0 lead, back to 3-3, they were able to get back to their game plan and win the game 4-3.
Yeah, and Coach Nogler said that he gave the crowd, not only the team, the crowd in the building, a lot of energy with those big hits that he had. Puck to center ice. In over the line. This is McDonald. He delays, takes a shot, put it wide on the blocker's side, and now chipped out and down the ice, and this will be an icing call against the Lancers. Shots on net here, 4-2 in favor of St. Mary's.
And 2 of those 4 shots resulted in goals, and quality goals. Top flight hockey at this level, and you want to see your best players play their best in games like this, and especially with this game meaning so much to get them to the gold medal game.
St. Mary's team, they had a day off, able to recover. So they come here with a lot of energy in this semifinal game. Along the boards now, Linklater trying to get it out in front. Now a chance on the backhand, as that was Ben Boyd, and there's a penalty coming up, and it's going to go against the Lancers, and it's a hooking call.
This isn't something the Lancers want to do right now with the momentum on St. Mary, going for St. Mary's right now. So we got Lindenberg coming back on after throwing the check in the corner, and then we have to take a hook to avoid giving up the 3rd goal. You know, whenever the defenseman comes back and you got a forward rushing to the net and there's a parallel stick, the officials don't have the choice but to call it. You avoid the goal, but you take the penalty and you give them that 2 minutes now to see what their offense could get going.
St. Mary's 1 for 2 on the power play in that contest against Saskatchewan in the quarterfinals on Thursday. Back for it now is Hopkins. Hopkins came up with 3 assists in that game against the Saskatchewan Huskies. Turnover now. Trying to take it to the net is Hamlin. Closed down. There's a shot by Boucher. Chivas gets pushed off the puck, as that was Ben Boyd. Ben Boyd, like Arnsby, he had a number of big hits in that Saskatchewan game. 1:22 remaining in the power play. Here's Gentile. Shuffles it off to the wing, and that's going to be offside at the Lancer line.
Well, Gentile's another guy for St. Mary's to keep your eye on. He's an offensive threat every time he's on the ice, and he brings high energy to every shift. He's a guy that doesn't take a shift off shift after shift.
And he's got a real high offensive IQ. Comes to Ethan Ritchie. He'll play it back into neutral ice. DeFonseca off the boards, and now Grabner has to come back. Arnsby on top of him. Time winding down on this power play. 1:05 remaining in the man advantage. Comes back to Vlad. Vlad can't keep it in the zone. Jumping on this loose puck is Ritchie. He'll lay it off. DeFonseca. And St. Mary's having some problems getting an exit right here. Here's DeFonseca, right on the tape of Uberti. In over the line on this right side. He'll rim it hard around the boards. DeFonseca is there. Play back up top for Ritchie. Half wall into the bumper spot. A chance here now. Uberti, couple of whacks at it. That puck in the blue paint. Another shot. Gentile thought it was in. He was about ready to celebrate. And Donoso again saves the day for Windsor.
Well, you know, the one thing we see is that St. Mary's has a pretty good power play. They're able to gain the zone, move the puck from the bumper into the middle, and we've got 3 opportunities here for a goal. Donoso comes up big, but Windsor's penalty kill comes up big and clears the blue paint of the puck, and they're able to give Donoso time to pounce on and freeze the puck for them. Right now, Windsor is directing St. Mary's power play to go where they want them to go.
21 seconds now remaining in the penalty to Linklater. Face off to the right of Donoso. Into the corner. Gentile trying to win a puck battle. Hamlin off the boards. Not strong enough. Kept in. There's a shot. Knocked down. Chivas has it. He has an opening and banks it off the boards and down the ice. Penalty kill for this Windsor team. They were 1 for 2 against Mount Royal. Back to 5-on-5 hockey. Puck centered out front. Chivas is there, and they score! Ben Boyd as Chivas. He couldn't clear it, and Boyd said thank you very much, and it's now 3-0 for St. Mary's.
Well, the puck goes into the corner here, and Chivas is in front of the net by himself, and Boyd just steps in. Chivas tries to stop it with his skate, and he doesn't get the skate on it. Boyd comes in, picks it up, and he goes high over the glove on Donoso.
And Ben Boyd had a couple of injuries this season, broke his wrist in the first half of the campaign, and then an upper body injury in the second half, and they missed his energy. And right now, you see Windsor, they're taking a timeout.
Yeah, I think that's an opportune timeout, and you can understand right now why Kevin Hamlin's taking it. You know, St. Mary's came out the other day. They had that 3-0 lead. If Windsor can settle down and come back with the next goal, the hill won't be as high to climb.
Let's take a look now at the 3 goals by St. Mary's. 3 goals in less than 6 minutes, that is. And here's the first one. What a move by McDonald.
McDonald knits the defenseman a sweater, then goes in and buries the puck over the top of Donoso. And then we have a perfect play here. Tic-tac-toe and underneath the crossbar.
Reed Vlad with a nice-looking goal, and here's the goal that we just saw. And right there, I don't think Dylan Chivas knew where that St. Mary's player was and thought he had more time than he actually did. So it's a 3-0 score here, and we haven't hit the halfway point of this first period. St. Mary's in firm control so far. See if that timeout can help this Windsor Lancer team. Huskies try to get it out of the zone. And now pushed ahead, Van Loon onto the tape of Connor Trenholm, one of the foot soldiers on this St. Mary's team. Miller gives him a rough ride. Around the boards it goes. Kept in. Now they try the wrap around, as that was Ethan Ritchie that moved up from the blue line.
Well, in game 1, we saw Ethan Ritchie come down and drive the net with his stick out. And now we see him pick up the puck off the half wall and come and try the wraparound. And Donoso gets the pad out and is able to freeze the puck. What Windsor has to do now is try and find a way to get some offensive zone time in St. Mary's zone.
Ozone face-off for St. Mary's here. Hamlin will get tossed out of the face-off circle. Face-off won by the Huskies. They play it back to the point. Here's Ritchie. Wants the maneuver. Try to play it behind the net for Chisholm. Taves gets it in the near side corner, and now Cunningham. He just dodges the check. Just floated it out to center ice. Chisholm will nullify the ice and centers it out in front. Hamlin's right there. Has to throw it to the boards. Here's Grabner. He'll push it forward. Cunningham. He'll blaze a trail down this near side wing. Cunningham lets a shot go. That was a rocket. Went over top of the net. McNamara back in neutral ice. He'll play it for Dobirch. Both teams making a change here. DeFonseca looking forward in his skates. Got it taken away from him by Cunningham, and right down Main Street, look, the shot go, and Vandenberg with the save. Folks, the 2026 Miller Waste Systems U Sports Women's Hockey Championship is in Woolwich, Ontario this weekend. Tickets are now currently on sale. Visit usportstickets.ca for more information. The information that we got here is that St. Mary's is ready to play. They're up 3-0 as we're approaching the halfway point of the frame. That shot blocked by Vlad. And now Windsor, they take over possession. Shots on net, 8-3 in favor of the Huskies. Jacob Holmes, hard wraparound. DeFonseca, little east-west pass. Vlad, he'll come back inside his own zone. Dropped it there. Ill-advised drop pass. And now Uberti, he'll rev it up. In over the line on the right side. Uberti into the high slot. Back for Cato. Again, St. Mary's looking dangerous in the Lancer zone. Back to the point, kept in. And now this is Doberch. He'll lead the rush. In over the line, shuffles it off. Cross-ice feed. McMullen couldn't get to it. Big Ben Allison, 1v1 with Miller. Allison stumbles a bit. Back on the puck in the corner. Comes out of the corner. There's the shot as he tried to go high on the short side. Cato to the net. That got diffused. Ulichny over to Shaw, and he just gets it out of the zone. But once again, another dangerous attack there from the Huskies. Laid up along the boards on that far side. This is Hopkins. 1-2 BCHL titles with the Penticton V's. Dumped in, Miller jumps on it. He's got time and space here. Off to the wing, a quick cross-ice feed. Here's Johnny Ulichny. Takes a shot that goes off the shin pads of Hopkins. Played up along the wall, down the ice it goes. Grabner back on it. He'll rim it around the boards. Little touch pass by Ulichny. Couldn't hook up there with Faust. Kept in. Faust plays it across. Colton Smith, he moves in, lets a shot go. Little traffic out in front as Vandenberg got bumped. Well, St. Mary's Huskies came out like a house on fire. They're in front, 3-0 over Windsor. Back with more right here in Halifax after this.
Le sport en direct sur ICTout.tv. 100% énergie. 100% gratuit. Votre meilleur plan de match pour voir des performances exceptionnelles sur l'appareil de votre choix. C'est ICTout.tv.
It's not just about the victory. It's about the moments leading up to it. BioSteel, the fuel behind every victory.
Thirsty? With 5 essential electrolytes and 0 sugar, BioSteel is the game changer you've been looking for. All of the good stuff with no extras and no gimmicks, just clean, healthy hydration. Trusted by pro athletes since 2009. Steel sharpens steel.
So Windsor defenseman Matt McNamara is known for a lot of things. He's known for his leadership, he's known for his community service, he's known for his performance on the ice, and maybe he learned all 3 of those things from his uncle, some guy in the Hockey Hall of Fame by the name of Bob Gainey. Perhaps the only difference between these two relatives, McNamara is one of the best offensive defensemen on the ice, while Gainey, of course, one of the best defensive forwards of all time. Still, not bad having hockey royalty on your family tree.
No doubt about that, Rob. That's a great story. There's a shot that goes wide, off to the side of the net. And now this is Chisholm. Tries to clear it one time. It's a second opportunity. McNamara over for Linkletter. He'll play it east-west. Grabner. Down the line, deflected in by Taves. A lot of people don't remember that Bob Gainey started out as a defenseman, so he knows a thing or two about playing the position. Uberti, he'll sling that puck in hard around. In there is Dylan Andrews, the first-year forward. Laid out in front, and now McNamara. He'll push it. Smith leaves his way in. Good stick there by Vlad, and that's going to be offside at the Husky line.
You know, you talk about Bob Gainey. I was thrilled as a kid. My first ever hockey banquet, Bob Gainey was the guest speaker.
Great player. Russians called him probably the most technically sound player in the NHL during his time. So,
and what a gentleman.
Yes. Very classy individual. Face off in neutral ice now. 7:18 remaining in the first period of play. Huskies have dominated, but we got a ways to go here in this game. Lancers team trying to get one. If they can get one, maybe they can get some confidence going. Here's Dobert. Puck deflected in, and now Uberti. That pass behind DeFonseca. Rink wide feed, Cunningham. Alex Cunningham gets inside position, trying to get it to the net. It rolls right to the blue. Vandenberg is there. And all kinds of bodies in front of that St. Mary's net.
Yeah, and right now Windsor's playing it where they've got a little bit of desperation in their playing. They're going to get hard in the blue paint. They're going to throw the puck at the goaltender, and they're going to try and rush the net and look for a scramble. So we got Cunningham coming up on the left side. Then he tries to put the puck in the middle, and the puck just drifts in on Vandenberg. And you got three Lancers there all poking away, trying to create a loose puck and hopefully create something in terms of a scoring opportunity.
Alex Cunningham probably had one of the biggest games of his U Sport career with those two big goals against MRU. Off the draw, this is Ethan Ritchie. He'll bank it off the boards. Miller tried to dump the puck in. McMullen, he got the puck stripped away from him. Now this is Ben Boyd, has one of the goals in this game, and that's going to be offside at the Windsor line. And now we got pushing and shoving. Ben Boyd, of course, is involved. Yeah, there isn't a battle he doesn't like to get involved in.
No, he's a scrappy type player, and he brings a lot of energy to his game, and he gives a lot of energy to the St. Mary's team the way he plays. The one thing that they can't do is get into penalty trouble right now. You have a 3-0 lead. You got to temper down the physical contact right now. If you take a look, Windsor right now in the face-off circle has the lead 11-7. The last thing St. Mary's wants to do is let those guys set up and get a face-off in the offensive zone.
So Boyd is off for 2 or less. Got overly aggressive on that sequence. We'll see what the Lancers can do with a man advantage. 0 for 1 on the power play against Mount Royal. And when I talked to Coach Hamlin, he says his team needs to shoot the puck more. This is McNamara. He'll come out gingerly. DeFonseca tries to funnel him off. McMullen with speed. Keegan McMullen off to the wing. McMullen with a return pass. Tried to go backhand, forehand. And that got swept off his stick. Kept inside the zone, though. Here's McNamara. Shaw on the half wall. McNamara, he'll skate the line. 1:20 remaining in the man advantage. Shaw with a shot. That got blocked by Dillingham, but stays inside that blue line. Jumping on the puck is Hins. Rips it around the boards. McMullen, line drop pass, and that puck comes out of the zone. 1:02 now remaining in the power play here for the Lancers. And you would agree, right, Kevin? They need to shoot the puck more. They're trying to get a little too fancy.
Yeah, and that's not their style of play. That's not what's going to bring them success today. They've got to get pucks in, get low, and jump on rebounds.
Here's Smith. Gets a return pass. Colton Smith with a shot up high. Vandenberg looked like he got a piece of that. Shivas, he'll funnel it down low. This is Linklater trying to get away from the check. Plays it back up top for Smith. Plays catch there with Shivas. Cross-ice feed. There's a shot right on. Well-executed play by Windsor. 21 seconds now remaining in the man advantage. Chivas again, great opportunity here for Windsor. A shot gets blocked. Trying to get to that puck is Connor Trenholm, and he'll go off on a change. Chivas weaves his way in, gets it over for Connor Smith. Return pass. Off to the wing. There's a shot right on, up high on the chest of Vandenberg. Arnsby just punches it out of the zone, and we're back to 5-on-5 hockey. 2-on-2 battle in that near side corner. Here's Dobert. Dobert on it again, try to play it out into the slot. Boucher, he just gets it out. He was closed down by Dillingham. Dobert, he'll start out right down the middle of the ice here. Dumps that puck in. Faust on the forecheck, trying to get some help to keep that puck in the zone. Grabner. And that puck bounced right to Vandenberg, and he'll freeze it.
Yeah, Vandenberg does a good job pouncing on that puck to give his team a break. You know, those guys just had a 2-minute PK, and if you take a look at the way they were playing, they played and executed it perfectly. They played a collapsing diamond where they blocked all three outlets because Windsor likes to go to that bumper pass from the outside. And what it allowed to do was every time the puck moved, they were covered. They had to go back to the middle. And St. Mary's was able to get to the middle of the ice with their high guy and block shots and clear the zone quickly.
Coach Nogler very happy with his penalty killing here so far in this tournament. Puck below the goal line. Dobert with his shot. No problems there for Vandenberg. Fans U Sports wants to hear from you about their viewing experience. Visit usportsfans.ca or click QR code on the screen to join our fan advisory. Tell us what you think about U Sports.
Well, Peter, I'm just looking at the shot clock right now, and now we've got Windsor leading the shot clock 9-8, but the clock that counts right now is the score clock, and that's 3-0 right now for St. Mary's.
Puck in the St. Mary's zone, and you know the Lancers want to try to get something going here before this period comes to an end. They've been a little, I don't know, listless.
Well, listless may not be the correct term, but it's what we're seeing right now. They just can't get anything going, and that's frustrating them. I think that what that's doing is it's slowing down their play. They're trying to figure things out instead of just going out there and executing right now.
Face off now in the St. Mary's zone. Hamlin trying to win the draw, and he can't. This is Dillingham. Cross ice, Uberti. 1v1. Good stick there by Miller. Puck goes around the far side corner. Cote, he takes a heavy hit. And this St. Mary's team, the physicality in that first game, and it's not quite as physical right now, but in that first game was unbelievable. And I wondered, would they have enough in the tank for this game? And they do have enough in the tank.
You know, one thing we said after the game the other day is, geez, they're going to have to slow down on the contact because it's going to drain them as they go on. They didn't pick up the message because they come out to play the exact same way they played in game one. That's what brings them here.
Off the face-off now, jumping on that puck was Gentile to the point. It hopped on Ritchie. Ritchie battling with Taves. And now Reed Vlad, such an excellent skater, comes back defensively. Vlad has one of the goals in this game. Tried to feather a pass for Allison. Couldn't center it on the second opportunity. There's a shot by Hopkins, well wide of the mark. And now hacked at and sent down the ice. Colton Smith trying to get to it. Gets there first, centered out in front. And now Allison will just clear it out of harm's way. Sent right back in. 2:39 remaining in the opening frame. 3-0 for St. Mary's. A barrage of goals in about 6 minutes, I guess. And they've got a nice lead here. Here's Vlad. His pass got away from Ritchie. He's calling to the bench. He wants to make a change. Smith, a nice adjustment. McMullen moves in. McMullen on the backhand. Oh, can't put it away. Dobert moved up on the play, and he took a swat at it. and missed. What a play right there by McMullen.
Well, let's see that play develop in the neutral zone. McMullen picks up the puck on the right side, splits through the defense, comes around, gets Vandenberg to come out, and then just can't get the puck in behind him.
Just couldn't shovel it in there. So face-off to the right of Donoso. Hamlin will get tossed here. Cunningham comes in to take the draw for the Lancers. Off the glass, not hard enough. Ritchie funnels it down into the corner. Uberti makes an adjustment, puts the shot on net, gets a second opportunity. It got away from him. And now Jones hits center ice. He'll dump it in. And we'll get a stoppage here. 1:36 remaining in the first.
Well, we're seeing a little bit more life after that last play from the Windsor Lancers. They've got a minute and a half to go in this first period, and they're going to do everything they can to try and ramp up that shot clock and hopefully create something. Maybe bring them into the point where they start getting a little bit more confidence in the offensive zone, and then they can carry that into the second period. Right now, it's almost a one and done. They come in, take the shot, and the puck gets cleared.
Yeah, it hasn't been very difficult for Vandenberg so far in this game. Ward battle down low, a stick comes up. And there's going to be a penalty coming up here to Shaw as he got careless with his stick. Or was it a hit from behind?
Well, Arnsby goes in.
Oh, right there, yeah.
Yeah, and just as the puck comes, both players turn, and up comes the stick from Aaron Shaw.
So, yeah, don't want to be taking a penalty this late in the frame. You're already down 3-0. So Arnsby is leaving the rink. He'll have to get some repairs. And, 4-minute penalty. So Arnsby got cut, and this is a big kill right here for the Lancers. 1:25 left in the frame. So they got a lot of work to do here.
They've got a hill to climb right now, and this next minute and 25 seconds is going to be huge for their penalty killing unit.
Their season on the line right now, safe to say. Here's Hopkins, midpoint. Gentile trying to go cross ice to Allison. They'll have to reboot. Hopkins, as I mentioned, 3 assists in that opening game against Saskatchewan. Puck sent down to the corner. Here's Allison on his horse, trying to get in on the forecheck. Chivas is right there. He can't get it out. Allison battles. And now Chivas tried to get the puck out. This time Dobrich gets it, and he'll whip it down the ice. Under a minute now in this opening period. Coming out gingerly, this is Hopkins. Drops it back, Gentile. Gentile bobbled it, and that's going to be offside.
Well, good job so far by the Windsor PK. They're getting out high in the neutral zone. They're stopping them from penetrating the blue line right now. They got 32 seconds, and that's what they want to do. They want to be able to go back in and regroup and get back. Coach Hamlin will want to get them back on the game plan, get through the penalty kill, and then try and create some offense again.
Down 3-0. They had themselves a 3-0 lead in the Queen's Cup against Trois-Rivières. Ended up losing that one 5-4 in overtime. So let's see if they can reverse things here in this semifinal game. Off the boards, first on it is St. Mary's. Up along the wall, Vlad able to keep it in the corner. Huberti in a puck battle. Played up top. De Fonseca. Vlad with a shot. And he put that one over top of the cage. And that's going to do it for the first 20 minutes of play. And this Windsor team, as you said, Kevin, need to regroup. Need to calm down in there and relax and refocus.
Yeah, and you know what they say, Peter, the 3-goal lead is one of those things in hockey where you're always focused on it, because if it goes 3-1, it's almost like a curse. It gives the team with the one the advantage by saying, hey, one more and we close the gap, and then you start taking confidence away. You talk about the 3-0 lead that Windsor had against Trois-Rivières in the OUA Queens tournament, and you take a look at 3-0 St. Mary's had on Saskatchewan, and they came back 3-3.
Okay, let's send it down to Rob Pizzo now.
Well, thank you very much. I'm here with Matt McDonald. Matt, when you have a period that goes that well, you're up 3-0, you got a power play coming up. What's the dressing room like? Is it quiet? Is it don't change a thing, just keep doing what we're doing?
You know, when you have a break like that in between periods, it's kind of tough to get going right off the hop, but the power play is obviously going to help us. I think the biggest thing is to keep calm, press the reset button, act like it's 0-0, get right back to work.
You got this thing going with a bang with that goal. Not only walk us through the goal, but where does that rank as far as prettiest goals of your career?
It's got to be up there for sure. It's just nice, you know, I got all my friends and family in the stands. You know, this whole event's been awesome for me as a Halifax kid. So, you know, a goal like that is one I'll remember for the rest of my life.
Talk a little bit about this power play, because not only is it big and give you a lot of breathing room, but stop any momentum this Windsor team could get.
Yeah, I think our power play is pretty dominant too. And guys like Reed Vlad, Ben Allison, you know, they're split between units right now. We got a pretty good 1-2 punch there. This power play is pretty big. Obviously, we got a little bit of a cushion, but that's not the mentality. We got to get right back to work, act like it's a 0-0 game.
You said you got friends and family in the stands. How many people are here, and what's it like playing in this atmosphere on the biggest stage?
I think, you know, the SMU community as a whole, we got a whole student section up there. You know, Thursday night, we all heard them. The crowd pop was unbelievable when Reed scored that first goal. Today, same thing. You know, it's pretty special to have a community like that here at SMU, and for all my friends and family, same thing. They're all here supporting us. As a local boy, it's pretty special.
Thanks so much. Good luck in the second.
Thank you.
Well, you will not find a prettier goal than the one that Matt McDonald scored. And there you have it, St. Mary's. They've got themselves a 3-0 lead. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more of our intermission report right here on CBC Gem.
Delaney, territoire du Nord-Ouest. Le berceau du hockey. On y trouve une communauté riche en histoire et en tradition que Quaker voulait surprendre avec une toute nouvelle cantine déjeuner Quaker dans son aréna. En plus d'offrir notre avoine canadienne à grains entiers, la cantine est maintenant l'endroit pour se rassembler, manger et célébrer. Nous sommes fiers d'alimenter la passion du hockey dans son village d'origine. Parce que peu importe d'où tu viens, t'es capable.
Le sport en direct sur ICTout.tv. 100% énergie. 100% gratuit. Votre meilleur plan de match pour voir des performances exceptionnelles. Des athlètes de grand talent. Des sports de haut niveau. Tout ça sur l'appareil de votre choix. C'est simple et gratuit sur ICTout.tv.
Every hit, goal, and celebration as if you're standing right on the sideline, immersing you in the game like never before, bringing heart-pounding action directly to millions of fans. We deliver unparalleled simplicity and tailor-made digital broadcasting solutions crafted to make you feel every moment in a way like never before. Our passionate team ensures your message reaches audiences reliably every time. Proudly Canadian, we bring a touch of innovation and our passion to the world stage. ISI Live, be there.
Across Canada, it starts the same way. A love for the game that unites us all. From hometown rinks to the world stage, we rise together. Every stride, every save, every dream, shared by every girl who's ever picked up a stick. It's her shot, rebound in front, she scores! Because when one rises, we all rise. Rise as one.
Beginning a program at university is an incredibly optimistic moment. Anything is possible. This is the time to enjoy learning, to enjoy figuring it all out, to learn things you never knew, and become someone you didn't think possible, beyond the expected, beyond your wildest dreams. Grow beyond.
Hey U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Welcome back to Halifax. After 20 minutes of play, St. Mary's Huskies with a 3-0 lead here in this semifinal matchup against Windsor. Reed Valad was given an opportunity to showcase his offensive skills this season at St. Mary's, and he went to town scoring 27 goals to lead the nation. Here now is 2 minutes with the former Peterborough Pete.
Hey, I'm Reed Valad. I'm a third-year commerce student, and I'm a forward. I come from a pretty strong family background of hockey. My older brother's playing. My parents played growing up. A lot of aunts and uncles have played. My dad's, built a rink in my backyard every year when I was young, and I learned to skate there, and I kind of just fell in love with the game and took off from it. Everything I try to do is at a fast pace. I try to play a hard 200-foot game as best as I can. I like to think of myself as an offensive forward primarily, but responsible in the D zone as well. Yeah, it's nice to see some personal success there in terms of production. I don't think that comes without the support of my teammates, my line mates, our coaches who set us up for success every day, and I think our team comes to the rink every day with the right attitude to work hard and play the right way. And I think it's just a byproduct of that paying off. Yeah, we're super excited. Obviously, playoffs didn't go the way we wanted to, but we're trying to find a positive out of that, which we've had a few weeks here to really tighten everything up in terms of systems. Get guys some good rest, get everybody back and healthy. So for us, we're just excited to get back into the game mode. I think we're in great shape now, and we're looking forward to it. It's obviously an incredible opportunity here to become national champions, and to be able to do it in our home city is incredible. To do it in this rink is awesome in the city of Halifax. To have our school be able to come out and support the students, the fans that we see on the regular. So many guys are lucky enough to have family have flown in to see this. So we're just really grateful for that opportunity and to be able to do it on a stage like this. It was a tough transition coming from junior to here, where I wasn't really doing too much school. And obviously that's a bit of a bigger added responsibility for the players to take care of themselves academically. I think our team does a great job of supporting and leaning on one another for that, whether it's a fourth-year student helping out first year with a tutor, or guys getting together to work on things together and really make sure everyone's setting themselves up academically as well. I think we've done a great job with that, and guys really take pride in getting ahead and staying on top of things, so that when opportunities like this come, we can really put our focus into it.
Partout au Canada, c'est une histoire qui se répète, née d'un amour pour un sport qui nous rassemble. Des patinoires du coin à la scène mondiale, nous avançons ensemble. Avec chaque foulée, chaque arrêt et chaque rêve qui habite toute fille qui choisit le hockey. parce que tous ces coups de patin nous propulsent.
1, 2, 3, Canada!
Ensemble, vers l'avant.
Le sport en direct sur ICTout.tv. 100% énergie. 100% gratuit. Votre meilleur plan de match pour voir des performances exceptionnelles sur l'appareil de votre choix. C'est ICTout.tv.
It's not just about the victory. It's about the moments leading up to it. BioSteel, the fuel behind every victory.
Thirsty? With 5 essential electrolytes and 0 sugar, BioSteel is the game changer you've been looking for. All of the good stuff with no extras and no gimmicks. Just clean, healthy hydration. Trusted by pro athletes since 2009. Steel sharpens steel.
This isn't about just showing up. It's about what you're willing to give. It's about being a part of something bigger than yourself. The work that matters, it happens long before anyone's watching. But it's never done alone. And when it gets hard, this team's behind you. Because the biggest victories, they're the ones that we earn together.
That's embarrassing. You know it's not embarrassing? Using FIG for a home improvement loan.
A quick, simple, and transparent offer in minutes. Or better with FIG.
There are those among us who never run away from problems. Instead, they run to them. When we never settle for the world that's been built, that's when we drive it forward, towards something better. Better outcomes for clients. And better futures for our communities. At Cushman & Wakefield, we believe better never settles.
Sports on CBC, presented by Sport à Radio-Canada, une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada. Nike, Fox Sporty, Theraburn Medical Supply, Les Bag Baron Rings, BioSteel, APAR, and by Steel Mazda.
Welcome back to Halifax. There you see the score. St. Mary's comfortable lead after 20 minutes of play by a count of 3-0 over the Windsor Lancers. Let's show you some numbers now from that first 20 minutes that was dominated, Kevin, by the St. Mary's Huskies. And there you see shots on net and also the face-offs. Well, seems it's in favor of Windsor. But anyways, let's forget the numbers. It's all St. Mary's is what I'm trying to say right now.
Yeah, and you take a look, you got the block shots as well in favor of St. Mary's, and that's an indication of how hard they're playing. On this first goal, we have McDonald comes down and he scores probably one of the nicer goals we've seen so far in the tournament. We've seen some really nice ones. Then we have the tic-tac-toe passing play from the bumper to Vlad, to Inverti, to Vlad on the far side. He makes no mistake. And we have a great scoring chance here. We get the nozzle gets down, able to block the puck and free.
Hey, you sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Welcome back to Halifax, getting ready for second period action at Scotiabank Centre, and there you see the score line. It's not a mistake. It's St. Mary's in front by a count of 3-0, and Tyler Nogler, the head coach of this team, been a part of this program for a lot of years. He's got to be pleased with what he saw in that first period of play. And Kevin Hamlin, what's he got to do, Kevin?
Kevin's got to get his guys focused and make sure they can kill off this penalty kill right now, and then hopefully get some kind of spark for their top offensive players. You know, Peter, right before the break, I saw one of the best signs I've seen, and I've been in a few rinks. It says, "Horses aren't built for dog fights." And I'm sure that's coming from the St. Mary's Huskies, and there's a lot of fight in those guys today.
2:35 remaining in the 4-minute penalty to the Lancers. Still some work to do. This is Ethan Ritchie behind his net. Ritchie, he'll come out. Plays it off to the wing, bump back. Reed Vlad snaps a pass. Here's Allison to Vlad, and that just hopped on him. If that's on his tape, he's got a nice opportunity. Play back again. Ritchie. On to Allison. Off the boards now, Allison jumps on it. Over here for Vlad, and that again slipped away from him. He goes cross ice, and they'll sling it around the boards. Gentile trying to get to it. Puck comes loose, and the Lancers will drift it down the ice, as that was Taves that got that puck and sent it down. Played around the boards. This is Boucher. Boucher now stops up, tries to get a shot off. Second opportunity in front for Hamlin, and he got canceled out by DeFonseca. Dillingham in over the line. And St. Mary's having some problems here connecting on passes. Hopkins. Guberte. And that's offside. And let's take a look at this earlier chance for Windsor.
You know, Windsor's penalty kill is doing a great job cutting the ice in half, and that's what allows them to get in and get a scoring opportunity on the 4-against-5. Puck comes to the outside. Billingham puts the puck in front of the net. They just can't get a handle on it right now.
And sometimes when you got a 4-minute penalty and you got the power play going, you think, oh, we got all kinds of time to create something, and you get kind of lackadaisical.
Well, you got a 3-0 lead. You kind of start getting a little bit fancy with the puck.
Here comes St. Mary's now. They want to rev it up. Drop back. Guberte with speed. Gets away from one man. Coming off the wall now. He's got DeFonseca going to the net. Loose puck out front. Donoso with the pad save. Dillingham is there as he chops away at it. And the speed of St. Mary's on full display.
Well, St. Mary's is on every loose puck. They're putting the puck on net. They're creating their own scoring opportunities. And then they're first on every rebound. You take a look at this play here. They get the shot. Second guy comes in. Then they got their third guy collapsing in here. The defenseman comes in from the point. He sees the loose puck. And they said, hey, we got to get that fourth one right now. We're in the zone. On the power play, we can take those chances and pinch a little bit.
Hard to believe that Guberte, I mean, he only played 3 games this season. He came back in that quarterfinal game. It looks like he's never missed any time with the way he's been skating out there and creating.
Well, I heard Ethan Ritchie in yesterday's postgame talking about Imberti. And Imberti was one of the players they said they were going to be looking towards. He hadn't played a lot this year, but they knew the quality of player they had. They said it took a little bit of time. They've had those little extra time at the end of their season to practice to get him ready to play. And they started clicking in practice and gaining confidence. And you can see that when they're out there on the ice.
Coach Nogler has a very close relationship with Jake Guberte, and he got emotional talking about the young man earlier today when I had a chat with him. Puck comes back up top now. Got a little bit of a lighting issue here, but they're going to continue to play. Puck sent down the ice. 29 seconds now remaining in the power play here for St. Mary's. Ritchie. Ethan Ritchie to center ice. Plays it to an open wing. Ben Boyd is there. Ben Boyd got knocked down by Boucher. Puck kept in the zone. Good job by Gentile from the corner. There's a shot by Boyd right on. And Donoso equal to the task, and he says no. Time winding down, and now we're back to even strength hockey. Quick up, that's intercepted by Shaw. Allison was right there. And now coming out the wing, here's McMullen, takes a shot, and he put that one high and wide. Another shot, that goes wide. That was Miller that missed on the Trapper side. Hopkins, he'll play it far side. Dillingham looking for an option. Boyd is there, and now gobbled up by Tranholm. There's a shot there by Van Loon as he tried to go short side, and Donoso will freeze it. Hey folks, just a reminder, coming up 6 p.m. Eastern time, this is going to be a good one. You've got the Patriots from Trois-Rivières taking on UMB, the 10-time national champions. And boy, that's going to be great entertainment.
We've seen some exciting hockey, and there's more exciting hockey coming at us with that game this evening. And of course, the winner of this game goes on to play the winner of that game in the gold medal game tomorrow.
So a lot on the line in the next couple of days in U Sports men's hockey. Here's Connor Trenholm deep inside his own zone. He'll rim it hard around. Colton Smith was right there, tried to funnel it, but couldn't. McDonald, who scored that beautiful masterpiece goal, he sent the puck in and now sent down the ice, and that will be an icing call against the Lancers. Take a look at the Windsor Lancer bench, and there you see Coach Hamlin trying to get them going.
He's trying to spark some energy into the guys, and when they hear him speaking and talking like that, you know he's sending positive messages, and they've got to take those messages and transmit them into their next shift every time they go over the boards.
Lancers team, they played a lot of hockey of late, and there's a shot by DeFonseca, gets deflected and goes into the mesh. They played a lot of hockey of late, and you got to wonder, they have those concrete legs right now.
Yeah, and both coaches know their teams have played a lot of hockey to get here. They know there's a lot of hockey left to play today. And the words coming from the coaches right now are total encouragement. Positive messaging, no matter what's happening in the game right now. You've worked so hard to get to the university championship. Everything right now is positive.
Puck comes to Owen Jones. He'll go rink wide. Grabner with speed over the line. Grabner, big defenseman. He'll take it behind the net. He's got a man on top of him. That's Connor Olson. McNamara tried to bounce it off the boards. And now out to center ice. Johnny DeFonseca off to the wing. DeFonseca going to the net. He takes a poke at Donoso. And the Lancers not appreciative of that. And there you see Owen Jones having a word with DeFonseca.
Well, you see here St. Mary's comes and chips the puck, moves the puck in the corner, and then chips it to the front of the net where Donoso goes down and grabs it. Now, Windsor's come out after that penalty kill, and they've showed some sparks of life right now. And right now what they've got to do is go the other end and do the same thing that St. Mary's just did. Chip the puck at the net, hope for a rebound, and create some offense.
Chisholm will come in now to take the draw against Shaw. Arnsby, he got all patched up. He's out there. Number 61 hasn't delivered a masterful big hit so far, but the afternoon is still young. Dylan Andrews now centers it up front. A chance right there for Chisholm. Chisholm right on the doorstep, and Donoso makes the save. In over the line now. McMullen. McMullen gets away from that hip check as Chisholm tried to upend him. Long lead pass. If they hurry, they might have a 2-on-1, and that play broken up. Good job by Chivas as Chivas got his stick out there and covered up. St. Mary's coming up with some crafty plays here.
And they're not relenting right now on their offensive plays. They put the puck into the corner, then they throw it back out of the front of the net again. Putting pucks on net, trying to get on rebounds, and they created a rebound off that play. And then Windsor, fortunately, able to come out of the zone with the puck with a chip out. So we had a chip in and a chip out. The chip-ins right now on the goaltenders are starting to create a little bit of traffic in front, and the blue paint is where we want to stay focused because that's where the game's being played right now.
Just had a look down by the St. Mary's bench, and Jacob Holmes, he's gone to the dressing room, the veteran defenseman. And play whistle down as we approach the 5-minute mark of this second period. Shots on net 16-9 in favor of St. Mary's.
Well, the interesting thing is through their first 6 shots, 3 of them went into the back of the net, and they've been able to play off of that from the first period and right off the onset of the game. You know, the one thing St. Mary's has to do, they're a dynamite physical team, but with a 3-0 lead and the opportunity to move forward, they've got to manage their emotion, they've got to manage the physical part of the game so that they preserve energy as well as they move forward through the next 35 minutes.
And you saw that from UNB yesterday.
Exactly.
You know, they had the lead. Okay, let's sit back. Let's conserve some energy. We want to move forward. We want to be there on Sunday.
All about intelligent play.
Huskies now play it back. Ritchie, his shot goes off the stick. And now up to Owen Jones. Jones in over the line, lets a shot go. He missed on the trapper side, or excuse me, the glove side of Vandenberg. Boyd, he gets hit by Jones. Played up and out of the zone. Sent right back in, or at least attempted to, by Grabner. Grabner swings and sends it right on Vandenberg. Ethan Ritchie. Stretch pass. Look out! As Allison was in the Bombay sights of Grabner. There's a chance off to the side. Big hit in the corner. As going down hard was Taves. Dillingham has pressure. Taves has it now. Ty Taves along the wall. Dillingham trying to squeeze him into the end boards. Comes near side. There's a shot by Smith. No problems for Vandenberg. That puck gets deflected. No, it didn't get deflected. And that's going to be icing. And just a reminder on CBC, tomorrow on the full network at 12 p.m. Eastern, it'll be the gold medal game of the University Cup from coast to coast. And we'll have a clearer picture after tonight's game between Trois-Rivières and UNB and who's going to be in that final. Right now, St. Mary's looking comfortable, but still plenty of hockey in this one, Kevin.
You know, St. Mary's with a 3-0 lead, you take a look and say, okay, well, they're going all offense. They've done everything they can to shut Windsor down, and they've done such a great job of isolating the Windsor players when they do get inside with the puck. They come in the offensive zone, they're stranded. They're taking shots from the outside that isn't creating any kind of secondary opportunities, and then St. Mary's is able to exit the zone fairly easily.
Puck to center, a shot in front of his bench. St. Mary's, they win the puck back, and now this is Connor Olson. Former Moncton Wildcat. And now Gentile, or excuse me, that's McDonald. Off the boards. Sent behind the Lancer net. Chivas. Played for Patrick Waugh with the Quebec Ramparts of the Quebec Maritime Junior Hockey League. Puck comes to Ritchie. Under pressure. Great job to get away from the forecheck. Here's Vlad. Snaps it past to De Fonseca. Now Ritchie to Vlad, and Vlad got a piece of it. Good defensive play, though, by Alex Cunningham to come back. Here's the aforementioned Cunningham in over the line by himself. Jones trying to jump up there and help him out. Played to the front of the net by the Huskies. De Fonseca, he'll loop it out to center. It comes to Hamlin. Hamlin over the line. Ritchie fans on the pass. Cunningham, he lost his footing in behind the net. Hamlin's there. Jones is there. Miller, he comes down and pinches. Some good zone time here now for the Lancers. Here's Miller with a shot. That goes wide. Off the end boards. Chopped at by Owen Jones as the Lancers are coming alive here, folks. Shot from up high. Gets deflected into the corner. Nice cycle here for the Lancers. Can they hold it? No, they can't. Puck looped out to center ice. That's what Kevin Hamlin wants to see more of.
Well, right now they've still got half a game to go, and they seem to have found their life right now.
Here's Taves. He tried to get around Holmes, who's back out there. Andrews down the left side, takes his shot, steered away by Donoso, and it goes out of play. So Windsor, they hang their hat on defense, and here's a great defensive play.
Well, you watch this play and you watch the tracking back of Cote on this one. He comes all the way back from the far end to make sure that he picks up his guy on the outside.
Great job. And they came alive there offensively. Had a nice little sequence. And what ails them is a goal. They need a goal, and I think that might spark them a little bit and get them going.
Well, they need something that's going to give them confidence and say, hey, what we're doing is going to start working soon.
Dobrich got held up a little bit by Chisholm. No call. Played off the boards. Taves trying to make an adjustment, gets it out of the zone and sent right back in by the Huskies. 11:09 remaining in the second period. 3-0 for St. Mary's. Played to center ice. And see all those bodies in that neutral zone for St. Mary's. They're not allowing Windsor any room out there.
St. Mary's isn't relenting in any of the three zones right now, Peter, and it's great to watch.
Puck gets away from Taves. In over the line. This is Boyd. Lets a shot go. Allison looked like he was trying to wrap around. That puck is in the blue paint. Back up top. This is Olsen through traffic, and it sticks to Donoso.
And Olsen just picks up the puck off the half wall, throws it at the net, and Allison's standing right there waiting for it.
I thought he was going to go all the way around the cage and try the wraparound.
It looked like it, and then he just stopped, turned back the other way, and almost created that opportunity again down low in the blue paint.
And you mentioned Allison in front of the net. That's a big body to have to see around if you're a goaltender.
He's spent a lot of time there. He's doing a great job in the faceoffs, and he's going to the net really hard today.
Emerson Miller inserted back into the lineup now for the Lancers. Up on the rush. Rimmed around the boards. Hins is there. Huskies will try another exit here. This is Olsen, Connor Olsen, all kinds of time. Tried to play it there for Boyd, and Boyd couldn't make contact. That's going to be icing. There you see Emerson Miller. Played a strong game in that Queen's Cup. In the loss, 5-4 loss in overtime to Trois-Rivières. Landon Cato, former captain of the Niagara Ice Dogs. So we get an ozone face-off here for the Lancers. So we mentioned that Jacob Holmes, he went to the dressing room for concussion protocol, so he's cleared it and he's back out there, or at least back on the bench. Puck out to center ice. Grabner will send it in. Cato. Take his time here. Allison comes back inside the D zone, and Allison will take it. And Allison. Stripped of the puck in the neutral zone. Huskies able to send it in. Loose puck there now for Hintz. He'll play it around. Johnny Ulichny. Ulichny gets away from his check and then avoids another check, as that was Van Loon. Van Loon is possessed down there. McNamara, he'll delay inside the zone. Over for Grabner. And there you see everybody in those white and burgundy jerseys in that neutral zone. There's a snow fence in that neutral zone.
Well, St. Mary's is doing a really good job right now, not giving Windsor any room to move.
And that's going to be an icing call. 9:09 remaining here in the second period. So we'll step away for a bit. Lancers try to find a way to get back into this one. Okay, we're not going to commercial. We're going to stick around, I guess. So face off to the right of Vandenberg. Shots on net, 19-10 in favor of the Huskies. Scramble off the draw now. Lancers hop on that puck. Laid out to center ice. It comes over here for McDonald. He couldn't nudge it down in the corner. And now Hamlin. Owen Jones gets it. He takes a heavy hit from McDonald. Huskies break out of their own zone. Here's Vlad, full flight. Good job by Chivas. Was not intimidated by the speed of Vlad. Holmes, as we mentioned, went to concussion protocol. He's back out there. Former Dallas Star draft pick. Nice toe drag by Vlad into the slot. Dillingham shuffles it up. There's the shot that just missed, as that was Uberte. Played back up top. Dillingham with a shot blockered away by Donoso. And Owen Jones, Paul Bunyan's that puck out of the zone. Uberte, De Fonseca plays it ahead. Under pressure is Chivas. Uberte getting in there. Not only is Uberte skilled, he can be pretty vicious when it comes to checking.
He's aggressive on those forechecks. He makes sure he finishes his check if he doesn't have the puck every time he's on the ice.
Laid off the boards, got away there from Miller. De Fonseca hopped on it, and he had Reed Vlad going to the net. They couldn't hook up. This is Arnsby to the net. Laid down the ice. Here's a 2-on-1 opportunity. Linkletter. He's got Taves with him, and Taves, that pass went off his skate. That was a glorious opportunity. And they couldn't get the pass. And it remains 3-0. We're going to step away. 7:24 remaining in the second. St. Mary's in front.
Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
So to be a goalie, you need calmness under pressure and rapid decision making. I guess you could say the same thing about an airline pilot, and that's why Max Donoso does both. Yes, he's an aeronautics major. He started flying during the pandemic. He holds a private pilot's license and has a career goal of flying for a major North American airline. He says that it actually helps him between the pipes. Quote, if you panic in the cockpit, nothing is going to go your way. And it's the same if you're on the ice. End quote.
Thanks, Rob. That's nice to know. Yeah, if you panic in the cockpit, it could be all over.
He's so cool and collected back there.
Yeah.
But now that I heard that, I'm wondering if Max Donoso doesn't want to fly down the other end and try and score a goal.
They got to try something. As the Lancers, they need to get a goal before this frame ends.
Yeah, they've got to do everything they can to keep the puck in and try and create some kind of sustained pressure. You know, every time they've come into St. Mary's zone, St. Mary's has been able to contain the attack, force easy shots from the outside for Vandenberg to see. And that's what you want to do. That's what your defense wants to do. But Windsor's got to try and find a way of getting through all that.
Face-off won by the Lancers. Grabner will get it down low. This is Shaw, back up top. McNamara, he put it wide, and now played to center ice. That pass behind the intended receiver. And then Andrews brings it in offside. 7:11 remaining here in the second period of play. This Windsor team, they beat Guelph 2-0, beat TMU 2-0, lost to Trois-Rivières in the Queen's Cup final 5-4. 3-0 lead in the first period of that game, and ended up losing, and I know that must have hurt this team mentally moving forward, but they shook it off with that big upset victory in the quarterfinals. Puck sent down the ice right on Vandenberg. Ritchie back to retrieve it. Little miscue there. Hopkins has to re-navigate. This is Shaw. He tried to play it low to no avail. Off to the wing. This is Gentile. Allison, nice spin move. Still has it on his tape. Allison plays it up top. There's a shot. That goes wide. Grabner rims it around the boards. Boucher couldn't get it out. They'll try it once again. This is McNamara. Up to Shaw. Shaw, he goes rink wide. You know, over the line, McMullen. Long shot, no problems there for Vandenberg. Let's take a look at the brackets as we creep closer to that gold medal game. And as I mentioned, you know, that was a massive win for Windsor against Mount Royal, but I think that took a lot of starch out of them.
That really did. I mean, that was a really intense hockey game, up and down both ways. And Windsor comes in today knowing they've got to find another gear right now at the halfway point of this game if they want to move forward.
Face off to the right of Vandenberg. Won again by Queens. Give them credit. They've won their fair share of draws here. But nothing's materialized out of winning those draws. This is Owen Jones. He'll spin it back down into the corner. Hamlin tries to get position on his man and does. Shaw centers it out in front. Hamlin got a piece of it, but not enough to get it on goal. And down the ice, another icing call here for St. Mary's.
Well, what you see out there now from the St. Mary's team is they've got a 3-0 lead, but they're focused. They are so dialed in on their defensive zone play. They don't want to give Windsor anything right now. They want to work hard. They want to protect that for Vandenberg. They want to protect their zone, want to get out quick, and then they are so creative once they get inside the offensive zone. But their commitment right now is to making sure they keep their zone clear every time the puck comes in to get it out as quick as they can.
St. Mary's team this season, during the regular season, gave up 108 goals. They had a goals against average of 3.56. But don't be fooled by that 3.56 goals against average, because they had a lot of injuries. And now that they have their full group here, I mean, it must make Tyler Nogler so happy to be able to practice the power play, practice D-zone coverage, penalty killing, and you have all of your players.
Well, Tyler told me yesterday that he had to get really creative this year in practice. You know, they're trying to get some chemistry between lines, but then they're missing pieces on almost every line. And then their power play and penalty kill often had some of those key pieces missing.
It's a shot that gets blocked. Taves jumps on it, plays it up top for Grabner. He'll swing it over here. McNamara up top is Smith. Linklater tried to center it, and now Vlad has it. He takes a hit from Colton Smith. The U-Sport all-rookie team. He scored 21 goals during the regular season. Linklater, he'll head north. Diagonal dump in. Here's Taves as they tried that production line play off the end boards, and it didn't work out. As you see, Ty Taves.
Well, Ty Taves right now is working as hard as he can to create something for his team. He's known as a leader on the team, and right now he's trying to find a way. He's trying to find a way, and I'm sure that's what Coach Hamlin's saying. Hey, boys, find a way. Keep going, stay positive, find a way. His motto for this tournament has been bend, don't break. And find a way right now is something that the Windsor Lancers are desperately looking to do.
And that is definitely something they did in the opening game of this tournament. Miller with a shot that got through bodies. In front was Hins. Took a whack at it. Chisholm can't get it out. That puck bobbling around, and now Arnsby. He'll push it forward on that far side wing. Hard around it comes. Andrews plays it off the inboards. Miller, he'll float that puck up. It comes to Shaw. Shaw in over the line. That shot blocked. Another shot right on by McMullen. Cote is right there. He'll hold the line. Ritchie hacks at that puck. And now Andrews, he'll try to scoop it out. Kept in by Dobert. Nice. Another nice sequence here from the Lancers. Got to get inside position, though. There's a shot. That's wide. Shivas, he'll pinch. Arnsby gives him a rough ride, and now Dylan Andrews, he'll lug it to center ice and dump it in. 4 minutes now remaining in the second. Shots on net, 20-14 in favor of St. Mary's. Dobert down the middle of the ice. Plays it over here for Shivas. Towards net, knocked down by Dillingham, and they're going to call it offside. Chance now for Windsor, but they're getting chances, but
they just haven't found a way to finish right now. And if you look again, the St. Mary's guys keep them to the outside. St. Mary's defensemen are keeping Windsor to the outside, giving them those long shots, and they're able to turn and pounce on the rebounds and clear their zone.
So faceoff comes to center ice. Trenholm got a piece of that puck. Shivas is there. Look out! Ben Boyd stepped into Shivas. As I mentioned, he's got that broken nose. I was talking to him before the game. He said he's having problems breathing. Out to center ice. This is Gentile. He goes rink wide. Trenholm in front for Boyd. And Max Donoso coming up massive with a save right there.
Well, you know, St. Mary's isn't going to relent right now in their offense. No matter how well they're playing defensively, when they get that puck and go through the neutral zone, they're dialed in on the goaltender. And if you take a look now, Max Donoso is the guy that Windsor is counting on to keep them solid right now until they can find a way of getting down and trying to put a puck behind Vandenberg.
Donoso, OUA goalie of the year, second team All-Canadian. Had 38 saves on 41 shots against MRU in that quarterfinal matchup. Ritchie laid it over to the far side, now up to DeFonseca. That got away from him. Grabner will send it back in. Lancers have to tag up. Here's Hopkins. Swerve away from Smith. Try to make a pass, went off a skate. Icing waved off here. Grabner has to pivot and go back for it. Now here's Grabner. Off to the wing now for McNamara. No good off the boards. Grabner, little interference there on Allison. Played back up to the blue line, and now the Lancers move out. Here's Hins. He's got Smith with him. They couldn't hook up on the pass. Long lead pass there that was behind Jacob Holmes. So we're hearing that Jake Gabberty is in the dressing room with an undisclosed injury, so we'll have to wait and see if Gabberty's going to come back into this game. Just his second game of the tournament, just his fifth game of the season, so that would be a big loss for this St. Mary's team.
Well, right now, as we said, Jake Gabberty is one of those players that played very few games this year, but the team knew what he meant to them. And they were so excited when he played in his first game and contributed to the offense on two of their big goals. And it would be a major loss right now for the St. Mary's Huskies to lose a player like that. He's one of the players that's leading their power play and leading one of their top lines here.
That goal that he scored against Saskatchewan, nice toe drag and ripped it home. We thought it might not be a goal. It got called a goal, but I mean, he's got the skill and he's got the grit. There's Arnsby on the turnover. Arnsby in the corner. And now off the glass and out of the zone. Sent right back in. Cote It's closed down, and that's Arnsby getting physical. I was reading on Elite Prospects, his scouting report, and it said he likes to engage physically. No guff. Played out to the wing. And now sent in by Hamlin. This is Owen Jones. He can't create anything. And now this is McDonald over the line. He already has a goal in this game. Down on the corner, Tranholm. There's Van Loon as he fights for it. Up top, this is Holmes. Holmes lets a shot go. He missed. Loose puck out in front. And another dangerous opportunity for the Huskies. Hamlin will golf swing that one down the ice. And that's going to be an icing call here. 32.2 seconds remaining.
You know, you mentioned Jake Umberti and that the goal he scored the other night. It took quite a while for the officials to make sure that the puck had actually gone in. And I heard Jake in the press conference after, and they said, did you think it went in? He says, I didn't think it went in. I knew when it went in. He said, I've hit a crossbar so many times, I know the difference between the bar underneath and the sound of the crossbar. And he said, I smiled because I knew what the sound was.
He was very confident. He was in full celebration after he shot that puck.
There was no doubt in his mind where that puck had gone.
Time winding down in the second period. Chivas tried to get on that puck. It comes over to Vlad. Vlad has had the puck bounce on him a number of times, and he's been in excellent positions offensively. Sent across the crease, and now Owen Jones trying to get control of that puck. And that will do it for 40 minutes of play. And now the St. Mary's Huskies have to manage this third period, and if they do that well, they're going to be in the University Cup final. So, you know, they're full value for this 3-0 lead.
Yeah, and I don't think you're going to see St. Mary's deviate from their game plan, no matter what, how much time is left and what the score is at this point. You're also going to see a Windsor team come out in the third period, not a discouraged team. You're going to see a team coming out saying, hey, guys, national championship. What we started in training camp, we've been able to accomplish. We're here on the ice. Let's give it our best. Let's leave it all out on the ice, and let's make sure when this game is over, every one of us can look at the other guy and say we did everything we could.
These Lancers, they're no slouches. I mean, they were 18-7-3-0 in the regular season, tops in the OUA West. So this is a team that knows how to win, and they will definitely fight in that third period. They've got a lot of character in that dressing room. Shots on net after 2 periods of play. It's 21-14 in favor of St. Mary's. So Lancers, again, they've had some zone time, but you know, they really haven't made Vandenberg work. So they need to do that in the third period. Okay, let's send it down to Rob Pizzo. He's standing by with Matt McNamara.
Yeah, thanks so much, Matt. Your team's got a lot of work to do and not a lot of time to do it. What's going to be the message in the intermission here now?
Yeah, I think just stick to our structure. Obviously, we need to get more pucks to the net and get traffic. I think the biggest thing is there's a lot of turnovers in the neutral zone. So if we limit those and just kind of get back to our structure in the O-zone, we should be able to find a couple here.
As you mentioned, not a lot of shots, 14 shots through 2 periods. What is it that this SMU team is doing to frustrate you and not let you get the shots that you want to get?
Yeah, I think they're just kind of like we're going low to high and they're getting out in front of the shooting lanes. So they're doing a good job, and they're also collapsing pretty tight to their net. So I think we just kind of got to get more structure, start moving a little bit in the O-zone, and trying to find some lanes to get pucks to the net.
How crucial is this first 5 minutes of the third period? Because with a 3-goal deficit, you've got to get one quick.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, we need one in the first 5. I think if we just stick to what we're doing, we're starting to get a bit of momentum. So if we stick to what we're supposed to do, I think we'll be fine. But obviously, the first 5 is crucial and probably will dictate the rest of the game.
Thanks so much. Good luck in the third period.
Thank you.
So the captain will go to the dressing room, get the troops rallied and ready to go for third period action. We'll step out, back with more of our intermission report.
Delaney, Northwest Territories, the birthplace of hockey. Here, you'll find a community full of history and tradition. A community that Quaker surprised by transforming their arena kitchen into a Quaker breakfast bar. Stocked with our Canadian whole grain oats, it's now a place to gather, to eat, and to celebrate. We're proud to feed the passion for hockey in the place where it all started. Because we believe no matter where you're from, you've got this.
Across Canada, it starts the same way. A love for the game that unites us all. From hometown rinks to the world stage, we rise together. Every stride, every save, every dream, shared by every girl who's ever picked up a stick.
It's her shot, rebound in front, she scores!
Because when one rises, we all rise. Rise as one.
Feel every hit, goal, and celebration as if you're standing right on the sideline, immersing you in the game like never before, bringing heart-pounding action directly to millions of fans. We deliver unparalleled simplicity and tailor-made digital broadcasting solutions crafted to make you feel every moment in a way like never before. Our passionate team ensures your message reaches audiences reliably every time. Proudly Canadian, we bring a touch of innovation and our passion to the world stage. ISI Live, be there.
It's not just about the victory. It's about the moments leading up to it. BioSteel, the fuel behind every victory.
Thirsty? With 5 essential electrolytes and 0 sugar, BioSteel is the game changer you've been looking for. All of the good stuff with no extras and no gimmicks, just clean, healthy hydration. Trusted by pro athletes since 2009. Steel sharpens steel.
There you see downtown Halifax, and there you see the score. The St. Mary's Huskies 20 minutes away from punching their ticket to the national championship game on Sunday afternoon. Windsor Lancers Max Donoso, fantastic goaltender, has received a couple of big honors this season. He was named the OUA Goalie of the Year and was selected to the second team All-Canadian team. Here now is 2 minutes with the Windsor, Ontario native.
I'm Max Donoso, second-year goalie with the Windsor Lancers, and I'm studying aeronautics. I first started as a player when I was about 3 years old, like a lot of these guys. I played player up until I was about 7, and then I switched to goalie when I was 8, so that's how I got started. Just reading plays, and then being the last line of defense for your team, and goalies were always my favorite, the cool pads and stuff. So just that stuff always kept me coming back and more. I would say I'm a consistent goaltender. You know what you're going to get every single night with me. Not too fit, not too quick, but consistent I would say is the biggest thing for me. I would say just, sticking with our systems and trusting one another has been the biggest thing for us. And trusting that we're not going to give up when the games get tough or the series get tough. That's been the biggest thing for us for sure. Just because of it's the biggest tournament there is for youth sports, right? So, this is our goal for when we started in September. So we just want to make the most of it. Yeah, it's obviously one of the best QMJHL franchises. For me, I played in Ottawa, so it's cool to see the other side of it over here in the Q. It's awesome for me, just having a second life basically off the ice. Getting your degree and and working with your classmates and just working towards a different life, pretty much. Just playing on the biggest stage there is in the youth sports. That's personally what we all strive for, and I'm happy to do it.
Partout au Canada, c'est une histoire qui se répète, née d'un amour pour un sport qui nous rassemble. Des patinoires du coin à la scène mondiale, nous avançons ensemble. Avec chaque foulée, chaque arrêt et chaque rêve qui habite toute fille qui choisit le hockey. Parce que tous ces coups de patin nous propulsent. 1, 2, 3, Canada! Ensemble, vers l'avant.
Délaney, territoire du Nord-Ouest. Le berceau du hockey. On y trouve une communauté riche en histoire et en tradition que Quaker voulait surprendre avec une toute nouvelle cantine déjeuner Quaker dans son aréna. En plus d'offrir notre avoine canadienne à grains entiers, la cantine est maintenant l'endroit pour se rassembler, manger et célébrer. Nous sommes fiers d'alimenter la passion du hockey dans son village d'origine, parce que peu importe d'où tu viens, t'es capable.
Le sport en direct sur ICTout.tv. 100% énergie. 100% gratuit. Votre meilleur plan de match pour voir des performances exceptionnelles sur l'appareil de votre choix. C'est ICTout.tv.
Beginning a program at university is an incredibly optimistic moment. Anything is possible. This is the time to enjoy learning, to enjoy figuring it all out, to learn things you never knew, and become someone you didn't think possible, beyond the expected, beyond your wildest dreams. Grow beyond.
That's embarrassing. You know it's not embarrassing? Using FIG for a home improvement loan.
A quick, simple, and transparent offer in minutes. Or better with FIG.
Hey, U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
It's not just about the victory. It's about the moments leading up to it. BioSteel, the fuel behind every victory.
Thirsty? With 5 essential electrolytes and 0 sugar, BioSteel is the game changer you've been looking for. All of the good stuff with no extras and no gimmicks. Just clean, healthy hydration. Trusted by pro athletes since 2009. Steel sharpens steel.
U Sports on CBC, presented by Sport à Radio-Canada, une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada. Nike, Fox Sporty, Theraburn Medical Supply, Les Bag Baron Rings, BioSteel, APAR, and by Steel Mazda.
Getting ready for third period action, and the St. Mary's Huskies, 20 minutes of work before they can punch their ticket, I guess you could say, for the National Championship Final on Sunday. Let's take a look at the stats. And that is strange when you take a look at faceoffs. Windsor's won 32 compared to St. Mary's 19. Now, usually you win faceoffs, you have the majority of the play. That hasn't been the case here today.
Hasn't been the case at all today. Windsor's done a great job in the faceoff circle, but when they're in the offensive zone, what's happening is St. Mary's able to get on the puck and clear the zone quickly.
So let's check out some highlights from that second frame.
So we have 3 great scoring chances by St. Mary's here. You come down, split the defense, take a shot, create a rebound, have the defenseman pounce down, pinch onto a rebound, take an opportunity in the offensive zone to take a chance. Every chance they get, they're putting the puck on the net, and every time there's a loose puck and it's in the blue paint, you find a white jersey on it, and that's what's given them success so far in this tournament, their physical play and being able to get on pucks. Here we see an example of physical play. We got Boyd coming in, we got Arnsby coming in, we got every time we see the puck going in the Windsor zone, if it's in the corner, you got a white jersey on it playing the body.
Yeah, they set the tone the other night in that game against Saskatchewan. So we'll go to break. When we come back, puck drop, third period from Halifax. 3-0. St. Mary's in front.
Beginning a program at university is an incredibly optimistic moment. Anything is possible. This is the time to enjoy learning, to enjoy figuring it all out, to learn things you never knew, and become someone you didn't think possible, beyond the expected, beyond your wildest dreams. Grow beyond.
That's embarrassing. You know it's not embarrassing? Using FIG for a home improvement loan.
A quick, simple, and transparent offer in minutes. Or better with FIG.
Hey, U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Delaney, Northwest Territories, the birthplace of hockey. Here, you'll find a community full of history and tradition. A community that Quaker surprised by transforming their arena kitchen into a Quaker breakfast bar. Stocked with our Canadian whole grain oats, it's now a place to gather, to eat, and to celebrate. We're proud to feed the passion for hockey in the place where it all started. Because we believe no matter where you're from, you've got this.
This isn't about just showing up. It's about what you're willing to give. It's about being a part of something bigger than yourself. The work that matters, it happens long before anyone's watching. But it's never done alone. And when it gets hard, this team's behind you. Because the biggest victories, they're the ones that we earn together.
Welcome back, everybody. Getting ready for third period action. St. Mary's in front by a count of 3-0. Peter Ruckgazer alongside Kevin Bixby. Got a note here from Rob Pizzo. After he did that interview with Matt McNamara, McNamara takes off his glove. Thanks, Rob Pizzo. I mean, not hard to tell he's related to Bob Gainey. That's something that Bob would do.
Well, that's just the sign of a true gentleman, what he did there, and a true consummate professional. We know Bob Gainey was a true consummate professional, and we see Matt McNamara is the same.
And this could very well be his last game, as he's a fifth-year senior. And just to note that we got Jake Umberte is back on the bench, so he's okay. Went to the dressing room to get checked out, and St. Mary's can't afford to lose him. Look out, McNamara has a big hit by Arnsby as he unloaded on the Windsor captain. Down in St. Mary's territory. Dillingham has to battle there with Colton Smith along the boards. Arnsby battles, can't get the puck out. Now it's going to be the former Columbus Blue Jacket draft pick, Ben Boyd. He got it to center ice. Lancers have to tag up now as they make a change. St. Mary's also will bring fresh players on the ice. This is Reed Valad on that far side wing. Played to the near side, a quick up. DeFonseca just couldn't handle it, and it's going to be an icing call. And there you see Max Donoso, as we found out, certified airplane pilot. So he's going to have to navigate things here in this third period. So the first 5 minutes, we heard that interview that Rob did with Matt McNamara. He's said in that interview, we need to get something in the first 5.
Well, I think you can see McNamara and Donoso are certain to be able to shut the back end down. What we're looking for is Windsor to come up with somebody who's going to take a shot on net and someone else who's going to go hard on the rebound. They've got to create some offense in the first 5 minutes if they want to have a chance to stay in this in the last 5 minutes.
There's Shivas, a quick up. Hamlin, he'll dump the puck in, tries to get after it. Hopkins around the boards. St. Mary's will work their way out of the zone. Hammered in by Valad. Goes far side. Now behind the net for DeFonseca. He got wallpapered by Dobrich, and it comes to the side of the net and squeezed there by Donoso.
You know, the one thing that's unfortunate for the Windsor Lancers right now is the St. Mary's Huskies are coming on. They came out harder in this period than they did at the start of the game right now. And they know their opportunity right now to play in the final is sitting in front of them for them to take. They know they've got to play solid defense, but they can't get off their game plan.
You know, they got a little scare in that game against Saskatchewan in the quarterfinals, so you know that's in the back of their heads with about 18:34 left in regulation. Here's Miller over here for McMullen, excuse me. He'll dump the puck in. Ritchie around the boards, out of the zone and down the ice. And that's a tough thing to keep doing, you know. Puck gets down the ice, you got to pivot and go back for it. Got to pivot and go back for it again. I mean, that wears you out, especially for the defenseman, Kevin.
Well, you want to spend as little time as you can looking at your own goalie, and you want to spend as much as you can looking at the other goalie. And that's what St. Mary's has done. They've seen a lot of Max Donoso today.
Gentile sent it to the net. Here's Olsen, gets it off the boards. Olsen now maneuvers at the blue line. Takes a shot, that's blocked by Miller. Miller gets it up between the two blue lines, and we get a whistle here for a high stick.
You know, we take a look at this, and you're mentioning the 3-0 lead. Hockey is a superstitious sport played by superstitious people and coached by superstitious people. I talked to Tyler Nogler the other day. I said, Tyler, what were you thinking before the game? He said, Figs, he said, I have a routine where I have the same guy stand in the same spot, give me a piece of gum. I have to open it. He can't have to open it. And I said, Tyler, wow, man, that's a tradition and a superstition I haven't seen or heard before when it comes to gum.
Yes, hockey players have their way, that's for sure. Chisholm tried to center it, and now it comes up along the wall for Ty Taves. Again, just floated out to center ice. Knocked down by Taves. And now Windsor, they've got to tag up once again. And there's Jacob Holmes. He'll just take his time here. Former OHL veteran. Hacked at by Chisholm. Jumping on that puck is Boyd. He'll swing it around in the near corner. In front is Ben Allison. He was looking for Ritchie coming down off the point, and that's how Ritchie scored that overtime goal against Saskatchewan. Read that play perfectly, came down into the slot, put it away.
You know, right now what you have to watch is you have to play disciplined hockey. Both teams have to play discipline. St. Mary's doesn't want to take a penalty and give up a power play. And right now, Windsor can't afford to be short and run 2 minutes off the clock. They need every minute they can right now.
As we showed you in the intermission, the stats, they're winning in the face-off battle, but it hasn't amounted to much. Hopkins behind the net. Good job by Dobridge to cancel out his man. Big hit along the wall, as that was Boyd. Who else when it comes to big hits? Up to center ice, Hamlin. He'll just lob that puck in. Cunningham. He gets taken off the puck. Played back to the point, though. Dobridge, as the net comes off the pegs. And Cunningham was involved in a situation there.
I think we're going to have an interference penalty here.
I think Hopkins is going to go. He got over exuberant. And as you said, this is something that St. Mary's, they got to be careful of. They don't want to be taking too many trips to the penalty box here. 16:27. There's a ton of time left in this hockey game.
Yeah, and with St. Mary's penalty kill, you know the way they played the last time with that collapsible triangle. When they get up to the top of the triangle and they block a shot, that puck bounces into the neutral zone, and they're fast enough to get on it first. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. And right now, Windsor has everything in front of them that they've been looking for, a power play and an opportunity.
St. Mary's, they win the draw. De Fonseca sends it down the ice. Here comes Matt McNamara, a little bump back. McMullen with speed, shuffles it off to Shaw. Shaw now will circle the wagons. Goes from low to high. McNamara, Shaw. He'll peel away. Heard Kevin Hamlin talk about we need to get some more shots on the power play. Everything on the outside right now. Here's Shaw, doesn't pull the trigger. Now he does. There's a shot stopped as that big blocker came out for Vandenberg. You see anything that they're doing differently there?
On the Windsor side, they're carrying the puck a little bit more, but they've got to get away from that high option right now. They've got to find a way of getting the puck to the low side and getting it to the front of the net. Right now, St. Mary's is blanketing the power play, and Windsor keeps trying to go back to that top option.
Well, big hit in the corner, and that's McMullen. He's down, and he gets up very slowly. 46 seconds remaining in this power play for the Lancers, and it's been uneventful so far. Here's Shivas. He'll skate it in over the line. Hamlin. He sent it in the corner. Linkletter in there battling. Hamlin is there as well. They swing it to the half wall. Jones. He makes an adjustment. Up top. Shivas. To Jones again. That puck eluded the intended receiver, Linkletter. There's a shot, or excuse me, Hamlin. Hamlin scores! There you go. Hamlin right on the doorstep, and he pots it, and it's a power play goal. And boy, did they ever need that.
Well, when we look at this play develop, they were able to get the puck back to the back end, off to the side, and get the puck to the front of the net. And Hamlin stands in there, and he does the gritty, dirty work of working the rebound. So we got a puck on net right now. You got Hamlin all by himself with two defenders, and Vandenberg doesn't have a chance to go get his glove on the puck if you look at this. So the shot comes. Aaron puck off the half wall, back to the D, to the front of the net with a guy standing there, and boom, Hamlin does the dirty work, and that's exactly what Windsor needed and wanted, and we're still within that first 5 minutes.
So the coach's son gets a goal, and we'll see if Windsor can get any juice off of that one and get some momentum here. That goal at 5:22, so the plan is working so far in this third period for the Lancers. This is Faust. He'll flare it off to the wing. Boucher. Return pass to Faust. And that shot is gloved. No problems there for Vandenberg. So before that goal, there was a little bit of a collision in the corner. Didn't quite see what happened, but we'll check it out right here. Let's see. That's McMullen. Ooh.
He gets turned around. Yeah. He goes in knee first.
It was Chisholm that gave McMullen a little bit of a bump.
Fortunately, he's okay. He made himself back to the bench, and we'll see him out there again.
St. Mary's, they get possession. They fly in over the line. Van Loon centers it in front. And that was a nice chance there for the defenseman Dillingham, as Liam Van Loon put it right into that blue paint.
And this play develops from behind St. Mary's net, where they come down the middle, move the puck to the outside, and then throw it back to the middle as they're driving the net. Denozo does a great job tracking that puck right now, and he knows what's on the line right here. 3-1, worst scorer in hockey. He keeps the puck out. He gives his team even more of a chance to gain momentum.
Face off to the right of Denozo. Here's Colton Smith. He's been kind of quiet here today. 21 goals during the regular season in OUA play. They need to get him going. He's got 3 goals in 5 OUA playoff games. Deflected out to center ice. Miller snaps the pass, deflected in by Colton Smith. Trying to get there on the forecheck is Taves. He throws a hit and then lobbed out to center ice. This is Miller. Disrupts that play. Gets it back in the zone. Shots on net now 23-15 in favor of St. Mary's. St. Mary's Huskies team, they lost 2 games to none in the second round of the playoffs in AUS play, against UPEI. So they've had a long time off before playing any hockey. Puck sent behind the Huskies net. 12:46 remaining now in regulation. Here's Gentile. Navigates through the neutral zone. Gains the line. Gentile. He tried to dance Cote. And now Miller. Comes across now Cote. Some room to roam. Flares a pass off. Linklater connects there with Jones. He tried to take a shot from a sharp angle. And that play disrupted and sent out of the zone. Played ahead. Olsen has got pressure from Owen Jones. Loose puck gobbled up by Allison. He gets ridden off into the boards. Up top, the attempted pass there from Grabner. Grabner picks it up off the wall. There's McNamara with a shot. That got deflected. A chance for Cunningham. They try the wraparound. They score! Owen Jones. And it's a whole new ball game, folks. Windsor down by 1 with 11:55 remaining in regulation. They have come back in this contest.
Well, their game plan was the first 5 and the next 5, and they've capitalized in both right now. We got a puck that gets deflected back to the point, goes back to the middle of the ice, shot at the net, and then that blue paint scramble. And right now, the Windsor Lancers stayed hard on the puck, gave them the opportunity to come around. We may have a contested goal here. We've got the officials over by the box. We've got a guy in the blue paint, not sure if it goes in off his skate.
Now, was he pushed into the blue paint? That's the question.
Well, that's why we had the officials to figure that one out.
So there you see the 2 captains, De Fonseca and McNamara.
Well, it's the St. Mary's fans are watching that overhead camera right now, and they've made their own determination.
This will be a good view here. And so they've waved the goal off.
Let's see what we have here. Oh, he's in the blue paint by himself.
Yeah.
He obstructs the goalie.
Yeah.
He keeps Vandenberg from being able to play and get back in behind to cover up and grab the puck.
So it remains 3-1. I know Kevin Hamlin He's over there talking to the officials. And I'm way up top here. I can see steam coming out of Kevin Hamlin's ears right there as he tries to get an explanation.
Well, that's pretty tough when you got a pivotal turning point in a game like that and it gets called back. Nevertheless, from what we see on the video, that was the right call made by the officials. But give Windsor Lancers some credit here. Watch how hard they battle here. And he just seems to get in. I'm not sure if that was goalie interference, man in the crease, but it looks like the officials made the right call on that.
So it remains 3-1 for St. Mary's. A little bit of a turnover there. McMullen got the stick chopped out of his hands. Here's a chance, the shot that goes wide as Gentile moved in. Or that was McDonald, excuse me. Just a reminder, 6 p.m. Eastern time. This is going to be a humdinger, folks. You'll want to watch this one. Trois-Rivières taking on UMB, two teams that have been to the top of the mountain a number of times in U Sports hockey. We saw a bunch of the UMB players coming out of the rink. When we were coming to the rink getting ready for this game, they were happy, jovial. They seemed to be ready to go.
They were here this morning getting prepared for tonight's game.
Two very experienced teams, two programs, as I said, that have had a lot of success. Here's Allison. He can't keep it in the zone for the Huskies. Comes over for Hopkins. Dobert. He got checked. Owen Jones couldn't hang on to the puck. Here's Vlad. He'll filter it down to the corner. On his horse on the forecheck is Allison. And Chivas. He's got plenty of room to roam here on this near side wing. Hits center ice, dumps it, and takes a hit for his troubles from Vlad. One thing you don't have to worry about with the St. Mary's team, they finish their checks.
They play end to end and whistle to whistle, and they don't give up in between.
Here's Miller. He navigates through neutral ice, hits center. He'll dump it in. Linklater trying to get it in on that puck. Here's Colton Smith from the half wall. Plays it down below the goal line. Keeps moving his feet. Miller read that one perfectly. Able to pinch and keep it down low. Off the boards it comes. And Gentile, he'll just float it out. A race and chase. Trying to get to it is McDonald. And that's going to be a nicing call against the St. Mary's Huskies, rather.
You know, off that last play, you've got to take a look at Windsor, and they've got to be building their confidence right now to say, hey, we got one in the first 5 like we wanted. That one we got called back. Let's not get discouraged. We're capable of doing it. Now we know what we've got to do. We just got to do more of it. They got to get pucks on net, and they got to get hard on them.
The shot difference has been kind of closed, the gap. 24 shots for St. Mary's, 18 shots for the Lancers. This is Grabner over for McNamara. Back to Grabner again, looking for a lane. Almost had it tipped there from Hintz. Centered out in front. Grabner moves on in. He takes a hit, as that was Trenholm that laid the body on him. Grabner, he'll twist and then send it around. This is Aaron Shaw, as the Lancers get a little bit of zone time there, but everything on the outside. Loose puck up for grabs, as that was Gentile that tried to get to it. There's a pass, too hot to handle. Holmes sends it down low. McNamara, he squeezes out his man. This is Dobert. Goes rink wide. McMullen back out there. That's good to see, number 15 for the Lancers. Smith able to keep it in. Big unit is out there, the top line for the Lancers, looking for some offense. A shot from up high, and that's no problems for Vandenberg. 9:18 remaining in regulation. St. Mary's hanging on to a 2-goal lead. Back with more here in Halifax.
Le sport en direct sur ICTout.tv. 100% énergie. 100% gratuit. Votre meilleur plan de match pour voir des performances exceptionnelles sur l'appareil de votre choix. C'est ICTout.tv.
It's not just about the victory. It's about the moments leading up to it. BioSteel, the fuel behind every victory.
Thirsty? With 5 essential electrolytes and 0 sugar, BioSteel is the game changer you've been looking for. All of the good stuff with no extras and no gimmicks, just clean, healthy hydration. Trusted by pro athletes since 2009. Steel sharpens steel.
So when you get a chance to host the University Cup, you pull out all the stops. Trevor Steinberg spent over 2 decades building St. Mary's into a hockey program that was a national powerhouse, and he was on hand for the ceremonial puck drop before their quarterfinal game. And just like he was on hand when he led their team to their last national championship in 2010. Since then, he's been inducted into the Huskies Sports Hall of Fame and now an amateur scout for the Seattle Kraken. He's got a lot to cheer about today.
Thank you very much, Rob. A lot of St. Mary's fans in attendance here. And they're going to be happy if this scoreline stays the same with 9 minutes remaining. This is Cunningham. He takes a heavy hit. Chisholm laying the body. St. Mary's now, they'll just take their time. Lancers making a change. And right now, St. Mary's, they don't have to do anything fancy, Kevin. I mean, just chip it out, chip it in.
They've got to manage the clock, get the puck in deep, make sure that they're looking at the no-zone and not looking at Vandenberg right now.
Swung around here now for Hopkins. This is Vlad. Half wall takes a shot that went off the shin pads of Linklater. Vlad again. Tranholm in a battle. He gets pinned up against the boards. Try to dig it off the kick plate. Comes loose now to Fonseca. He tried to take it to the net. Smith, he scampers to center ice, dumps it in. Taves trying to get to it. There's Smith, though. He does get to it. And now some room here for Hopkins to float that puck out. Knocked down by Cote. And that's going to get called for a glove pass. 7:47 now left in regulation.
You know, the one thing with St. Mary's, they're not relenting right now.
Yeah. I mean, they can taste it. And what they can taste is a chance to go to that gold medal game on Sunday afternoon.
And that's what you do from the start of the season to the end. You plan to be there in that last game of the season. And right now, they can almost see themselves ready to punch their ticket.
Now, when you coached at Concordia, did you do anything special to motivate the guys at the beginning of the season? Hey, this is our goal. We're here to win a championship.
Well, you know, kids come to university and they set their goal of moving on in life. So you have to set those same details up for them so they can plan the same way for their season as they do for their academic career. And you got to tell the guys, hey, we're here now. This is the end goal, but we got a lot of work to do in between.
Yeah. Here's Miller. Brings that puck to center ice, dumps it into the corner, wants to get on the forecheck, decides to get back in defensive posture. Right over here for Gentile, and he'll just bounce it out to center ice. 7:21 now left. McMullen, east-west pass for Shaw, dodges a check, gets hit there by Olsen. And again, just off the glass, and that time it goes out of play, but that's all they need to do right now is Cato just playing conservatively.
Yeah, and what you're going to see in the next 7 minutes is how well St. Mary's can manage the clock. They know they've got a desperate Windsor team right now coming hard at them. They've got to make sure that they're not too offensive-minded, not too defensive-minded. Take the opportunities where they come. Don't deviate from the game plan, but make sure you do everything you can to eat those minutes where you can.
Hamlin wins that draw, kept in by Dobirch. This Windsor team, they've won a bunch of face-offs here in this game. Boyd, 1v1 with Shivas, couldn't get around number 17. Shivas started the season off as the 7th defenseman for this Lancers team. He's worked hard, now one of the top offensive players on the blue line for the Lancers. Get a whistle here and a stoppage.
St. Mary's will be happy to slow the clock down right now. You'll see Vandenberg grab the puck as much as he can, let his team reset.
And a little conversation with Hornsby as he has a word with Hamlin. McNamara, this could very well be his last game of his career. I mean, he is a fifth-year player, so he might move on to other things. I believe he's 25. And I kind of think when you get to that age and you're still playing college hockey, you might have other ideas of what you want to do moving forward than play hockey.
Yeah, and he may want to stay in the game in another capacity as well if he's not going to move on to play, because hockey needs leaders right now. And leaders come out of Canadian university hockey. And that's what we need right across the country, to have those guys go out and be leaders in their community just like they were on their teams. And, you know, when you talk to Coach Kevin Hamlin about him, he said his leadership has just been tremendous for their program.
I mean, they were I believe, the youngest team in the OUA last year. So to have a guy with that magnitude in your dressing room, like Matt McNamara, I mean, that's gold. Jumping on that puck now in Lancer territory. There's Trenholm. He goes cross ice. Ritchie. He'll play it near side. Smith is there. Now the Lancers trying to mount an attack. Shots on net now. Oh, look out. That was Ritchie as he was looking for a hit along the wall. Shots on net now. The gap has closed here, 24-20 in favor of St. Mary's. Vlad gets in there, steals the puck into the high slot. Here's Ritchie with a shot. That got blocked by Dobert. And now quick up for Smith. Slapped that one in as he's dead tired. He needs to get off on a change. And now a 2-on-1 develops. Here's Allison. He's got Vlad with him. Allison with a shot. That's stopped by Donoso. That could have been a done deal right there for St. Mary's if Ben Allison beats Donoso.
Well, Max Donoso is going to do everything he can right now to keep his team in this game right to the final whistle.
McMullen couldn't get that puck deep enough. 5:23 now left in regulation. Chivas onto the tape of Shaw. Gains the O-zone. Here's Shaw. Takes the shot. Blocker saved by Vandenberg. Cunningham looking for that bouncing puck. And now St. Mary's try to get it out of the zone. Arnsby is in there. They hack and whack away at it, almost like a lumberjack convention. And now play back inside Windsor territory. This is Grabner. Chivas. They'll sling it in, and they're going to whistle it down. I don't think he got over his side of center. This is Allison, and he was going to the net all the way.
He was dialed in. I don't even think he knew he had Vlad there. They gave him the outside lane. He said, hey, you give it to me, I'm going to take it. And he had the opportunity maybe to look sideways, maybe try and pull a defenseman. But the defenseman decided, the Windsor defenseman decided, hey, let the goalie, let Donoso have the shooter. I'm taking the back door to make sure there's no pass here. Let's not get confused. Give him the shot.
Textbook 2-on-1 play there by the defenseman for Windsor. Here's Trenholm now in neutral ice. Puck sent in by Dillingham. Dillingham has had a strong game here. Number 18. Puck deflected ahead. Trenholm. Or excuse me, DeFonseca. Trying to get away from McNamara. Good job by the captain to extract that puck. McNamara looking for an option. Flares it off to the wing for Boucher. He'll play it around the boards. Off the glass, out of the zone, and St. Mary's, they'll do that all night long now with 4:07 remaining. So we got another game coming up, and this one is going to be a hot one, a spicy one. UQTR, they've won a national championship, and the UMB Reds, another team that's gone to the top of the mountain in university hockey. Note the time, 6 p.m. Eastern. right here on CBC Gem. I'm looking forward to that one.
That game will be a game that you don't want to miss.
Yeah. There you see the face-off percentages so far. Aaron Shaw leading the way, 66.7% in the face-off circle. Here's Linkletter over here for Taves, and he sent that one, missed the mark. There's another shot up high on Vandenberg, off the boards, and McNamara has to regroup at center ice. 3:44 left. Ethan Ritchie, he has to come back and gather it up. Ritchie off to the wing, shoveled out to center ice. Trying to make a move was Chisholm. He decides he needs to dump it in, and it's held on to there by Max Donoso.
And what we're seeing right now is St. Mary's is well aware of what's at stake right now. Taking a look at the clock right now. Now, St. Mary's is going to take a look right now and see what happens with Windsor. Are they going to pull their goalie? Are they going to try and press? At what point in time are they going to try and do that? And you certainly know that Kevin Hamlin's got that already written down. At what time he's going to pull, whether the score is 1 goal, 2 goals. He's already decided that prior to the start of the game. And I just looked at him talking to his coaches so they make sure there's no confusion.
And we'll see if Donoso looks over to the bench there to get some instructions. Right now, all hands on deck for both teams. There's Shivas. He ties up his man. Puck squirts loose in front of that St. Mary's net, and now Olsen, he'll just snowshoe to center ice. Dumped in by Gentile. And there on the forecheck is McDonald. And now a quick up for Shaw. Tries to get inside position. Played perfectly by Dillingham. Flicked out to center. And that puck gets deflected into the St. Mary's bench. So Donoso going for a little bit of a skate now. And as he looks over to the bench. And you see the captain, Matt McNamara. There's Donoso. Man, give this young cat full marks for keeping his team in this game.
He's done what he's needed to do from the end of the first period right through the last almost 40 minutes right now. And that's why he's U Sports Goalie of the Year. Right. And we knew coming in he'd play a pivotal part in the destiny of the Windsor Lancers right now. They just haven't been able to find their offense.
Cunningham sent it to the net. That's steered aside by Vandenberg. Reed Vlad spins, and out of the zone it goes. 2:27 now left. McNamara looking up ice, deflected in by Cunningham. Let's see if Windsor can get on that forecheck and create some havoc. Around the boards it comes. Grabner was there. Grabner tried to seal it in and couldn't. Here's Grabner. Fans on the first attempt to play to the wing. Fanned on the second attempt as his stick broke. Luckily, McNamara read that perfectly and able to save the day. This is Jones. Go ahead, Kevin.
Right now, they want to put that puck on the net to get Donoso out.
So Donoso does come out of the net. They get the extra attacker, but the puck came out of the zone. Dobert over for Shaw. Good job in the neutral zone by St. Mary's. Puck sent in by Smith, but he doesn't get it deep enough. Big hit as Chisholm got filled in by Shaw, sent down the ice, and now off the end boards, and that's going to do it. This one is done like dinner. Ben Boyd, easy empty net goal, and the St. Mary's Huskies, the host team, they're going to the U Cup final.
What a play at the inside of the blue line. St. Mary's takes the hit on the half wall, makes sure the puck gets out, and the puck gets over the red line, and Boyd makes no mistake. And what I like seeing about an empty net goal is there's a guy that's played a hard 60 minutes and contributed through these first 2 games to get his team to where they're going.
Yeah, you got to take a hit sometimes to make a play, and that was the case right there with Chisholm. He took a heavy hit, and Ben Boyd, he'll never get an easier goal than that. So 4-1 for St. Mary's. Now the focus will be getting some recovery time. The game tomorrow is at 12 noon Eastern. So right now, recovery is so key.
Well, you know, when you get to the arena and you see these guys, they're here 3 hours before. They're kicking a soccer ball like Lionel Messi. They're stretching. And that's what's led to some of these awkward hits today. The guys are able to recover because they're in such great shape and they're so flexible. What they need to do, though, is rest, recover, hydrate, and eat properly.
1:13 left in this one. Here's Shaw with a shot. Into the slot now. A shot right on, and that's stopped by Vandenberg, as that was Shaw right down Main Street. Under a minute now. Allison off the glass, out of the zone. Net remains empty for the Windsor Lancers. They'd like to get a goal here. And that's up high on Vandenberg. I mean, you get a goal just to say, you know, you ended your season with a goal.
They'll do everything they can, but you know what? Marcus Vandenberg says, no way.
Yeah.
No way.
What a season this young man has had. I mean, a rookie. Last season he played in the Ontario Junior Hockey League. He was the goalie of the year in that league with the Flemington Flyers, and he's come in here, and I don't think that Tyler Nogler had him penciled in as the number one guy, but he's taken this job and he's run with it.
You know, we often say goalies take a little bit longer to mature, but when you finish your junior career and you come to university, you've got to be ready. And Marcus Vandenberg has proven that he's going to be a mainstay from now on at the St. Mary's Huskies.
Battle along the boards here as things get a little rough. As McNamara is going to go off. And I believe that's Gentile, no, the lad that's following him to the penalty box.
You know, Peter, we got 30 seconds to go and they're still battling.
Yes.
Neither team wants to give an inch when they're along the boards and there's a battle for a puck right now.
You see Matt McNamara. What a great university career he's had. 30 seconds remaining in this one. And just a reminder once again, 6 Eastern will have semifinal number 2. UNB Reds, 10-time national champions, taking on Trois-Rivières. They've won the national title 5 times. And now we got a little bit of a snarl up in the St. Mary's zone. That's Owen Jones and Cato. And now Cato bumps with another Lancers player, so everybody's got to just chillax a little bit here. Here's Reed Vlad pointing up to the score clock, to the scoreboard. So a little bit of trash talking. So Tyler Nogler was part of the last St. Mary's team that won a national title as an assistant coach. He's been with this program for over 20 years now, so he's been here a long time.
Long-time assistant coach to Trevor Steinberg. Yeah. And when you work with someone like Trevor Steinberg, you have that opportunity to learn. Trevor's a player's coach, and Tyler has certainly followed in footsteps and put his own imprint on the St. Mary's Huskies.
No better person to learn under if you want to be a head coach. So that's going to do it. And the St. Mary's Huskies are off to the University Cup final. They'll face either Trois-Rivières or the UNB Reds. Great crowd on hand here this afternoon. They saw a fantastic game and the home team won.
You know, you have to find a way of deciding who's playing who in a tournament like this because you have 8 teams. St. Mary's came in as the host team, fell into the 8th spot. You take a look at the history of the tournament. Last year, the Ottawa GGs were the host team. They were in the 8th spot. They went right through and they won the national championship. St. Mary's right now, not an 8th seed.
Not really
a
an 8th
team
seed,
that
yeah.
started out having to play the number 1 team ranked coming into this tournament based on the championship that they won in Canada West. and they're able to beat them. Now they're able to beat the Windsor Lancers. They're coming in tomorrow saying, hey, we're one of two. We want to be number one at the end of the day. And they worked hard enough today to punch their ticket to that gold medal game.
And you know, you got a little bit of advantage when you're the host team of the national championship because it's easier to recruit guys that maybe you wouldn't get, right?
Yeah, and the other thing is they're going to have the home crowd behind them tomorrow. And if the history of this tournament is any indication, this building will be rocking tomorrow.
It'll be packed. There'll be a lot of energy in there. As you see Max Donoso, and you see the respect that he's getting from the St. Mary's players.
Well, that's the one thing. These guys battle hard for 60, but there's a tremendous amount of respect between these university players.
And for Queens, nothing to, drop your head about. You had a great season if you're this Windsor team, excuse me. I mean, they've had to battle all season long, and they've had a great campaign, so good job by the Windsor Lancers this year.
If you're at the University Cup, you're a heck of a hockey team.
Right. And that's a heck of a hockey team that you're seeing right there, the St. Mary's Huskies. As we'll get the players of the game for both sides.
And at this time, we'd like to draw your attention back to the ice level. Nous allons dévoiler les joueurs de match.
Let's show you the brackets. And there you have it. St. Mary's, they're in. Windsor will go to the bronze medal game, which will be played at 9 o'clock in the morning that we're doing, Kevin. I'm looking forward to getting up really early to do that game.
We'll be here.
We will be here. We will call that game. It'll be fun. And St. Mary's, they await the winner of UQTR and UMB. And that'll be coming up at 6 Eastern right here on CBC Gem. That is going to be a fantastic game. A lot of great talent in that one. So the player of the game for Windsor is Ryan Hamlin.
Nike
got the goal here today
from St. Mary's
for the Lancers.
Is number 17, numéro
Big
17, Ben Boyd.
Boyd getting
Forward.
the nod for St. Mary's. What a rugged individual.
Oh, his offense is only outdone by his physical play.
You want to know when you hop on the ice, where's 17, where's 61 Arnsby, because your head has got to be on a swivel with those two guys out there.
You know, when you're recruiting players, those are the type of players you know you need to get forward and get to a tournament like this. And kudos to St. Mary's for picking up those two. You can almost say they're the Bash brothers of university hockey.
Yeah. I like to call those guys, like Arnsby, I like to call them, foot soldiers, and you need those guys. Okay, let's send it down now to Rob Pizzo as he's with the former Charlottetown Islander, Ben Boyd.
So, Ben, you're heading to the U Sports National Championship game. How does it feel to hear that?
Unbelievable. Our team battled a lot this year, and to come out on top and go to the final, it's awesome.
2 goals for you today, but I have to ask you about your second goal. Have you ever scored a more satisfying empty net goal in your life? You put that in with authority.
Oh, yeah. No, that was unbelievable. Chizzy set it up well and just tap it home.
It's all about recovery now. It's a very quick turnaround. You play a lot of hockey in 4 days. What do you do between now and the championship game?
Yeah, I think just rest, get our liquids in us, get some food in us, and, see our trainers, whatever you need, and Smew takes care of us, so I think we'll be good tomorrow.
You've got another semifinal game in just a couple of hours. I've got to ask, do you watch that in person? Do you watch it on TV? Do you watch it as a team? And I know you probably won't answer this question, but are you cheering for one of them? Do you have one you'd rather face than the other?
No. I think both teams are great teams, and, it's going to be a hard game tomorrow. I think we'll watch it as a host tonight, and me and my teammates, and get ready for tomorrow.
I know it's not even close to bedtime, but are you going to have trouble sleeping tonight?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of emotions. I think try to hit the sheets pretty early and try to get a good rest.
Thanks so much. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rob. Benny's got to get his voice back.
Yeah. Well, you can tell there's a lot of communication going on out there when you hear him at the end of a game like today.
So Ben Boyd with 2 massive goals in this one. and St. Mary's. They have punched their ticket to the University Cup final tomorrow afternoon. Final score 4-1. Join us at 6 p.m. Eastern. It'll be Trois-Rivières and the UMB Reds. So on behalf of Kevin and our entire crew, I'm Peter Rutgazer saying so long. We'll see you later this evening on CBC Gem.
It's that moment again, the one you dream of every night. La seule chose qui te préoccupe, c'est la gloire. Le cheminement de la réussite, of pushing yourself further than ever before. But the true glory is in the shadows. Les sacrifices que tu fais, quand toutes les chances sont contre toi. When you can't push one more second, chase the glory. Visez haut.